Welcome to the 11th episode now for A Fistful of Thrones. When last we left off, the crew was just wrapping up their business over Ramian, and yes, thank you. And Moriana was just escorting Kira, the felonid doctor that Vanessa had picked up, to the captain's chambers.
Right, I was doing that.
And so,
No. Well, for a Skander, I don't know. Maybe that's his thing. No. But no. Lord Cass was the order I was given. So
whenever they get here,
would then approach and knock on the door.
a moment. After a moment, I move some papers around. Get like a thing of water. Get a pitcher of water. All right, come in.
Fucking. I
It's not even cucumber water. What kind of two-bit noble are you?
One that doesn't waste fucking money on a bunch of shit I don't need.
What kind of noble are you?
The kind that gets this fucking job done.
again, the question is repeated.
Noble are you?
Get the fuck out of my office.
I take some offense to that.
Unless we found out that Iskander was never a noble, he was just impersonating a noble to get his job done.
As it turns out, it's not that hard. You just
But
have
no,
to
yeah,
tell
I
everyone
usher in,
things really loudly.
I usher in Kara. Lord Captain, I've brought the one you requested.
Good. Kira, was it? Have a seat.
She approaches and then just sort of kneels down a respectful distance from you.
I sort of just do that, like, finger thing that a noble does, like, to give the scene, like, stand up.
She slowly stands. Still, her gaze is currently fixed on her feet, and she just seems to be waiting for commands.
Sit in the chair, dear.
Slowly moves and sits in the chair.
Are you thirsty?
No.
Alright, well then. I have some questions about your home world and your culture. I'd like you to answer them for me.
As you wish.
Moriana, I'm sorry, I forgot you were there. Dismissed.
I was literally just about to put in realizes that he forgot she was there. But, she would snap a salute, but realize, yeah.
Yeah, just when Moriana leaves, turning back to Kira. I'm interested in the planet's belief system. You believe in the Emperor, yes.
As do all loyal subjects of the Imperium.
Yes, but what exactly, how do you worship him? Like, explain it to me. because I feel as though the separation has made it different.
How does one worship any god? We
Suppose it
praise
depends
him.
on the person.
He is our master and our lord.
All right, so more or less just to sort of increase the speed of this because there's other important shit needs to happen. I just want to talk with her about her culture and things of that nature, and then once she answers everything, I'm just gonna send her back.
Okay.
Things of that nature.
I want to know like cultural stuff about Ramian and how they've lived there.
On a side note, it defeats the purpose trying to expedite learning about culture if you're just going to say, okay, I ask all these things and I'm done. Like,
I'm
if
trying
you want
to
to learn
move
about
the
the culture,
session
you have to
along.
actually learn about the culture.
I'm moving the session along.
I'm just saying this could have waited till after the big fight.
Late. This is a fair.
Oh yeah, we did start like shit.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
My sense of time is fucked, guys.
Oh.
Noted.
Anyway. Kira takes her leave once you give her permission to leave. And Iskander, you are alone in your room again.
I look at that cup of water that she didn't drink, and I drink it. And then I go back to doing all of the things I need to do today.
So far, you're like 0 for 3 on like setting out a glass of water and nobody's drank from it.
I know. I'm like, fuck, why do I even do this? I'm trying to be a goddamn host.
I don't think I was even offered a glass of water.
You were offered a glass of water, you wanted champagne, you got champagne.
Whatever.
So you went for the power play, Vanessa.
Sure.
But yes, I believe I was told that we'd have to wait a day or 2 days until the navigator's ready.
That is what you were told.
Then I will just wait.
Does anybody else have anything else they want to do in the next 2 days?
Besides,
Nothing of real note. Going through the normal routine.
well, making sure Mira is accustomed to the ship, checking in on her, especially after meeting with the Lord Captain. She's curious what transpired.
Kira informs that the Lord Captain just had questions about Ramian, and otherwise is quiet and keeping to herself until her presence is requested.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give her a while then to settle in. Does she seem bummed out just talking to her?
She seems quiet and withdrawn. Definitely not the same energetic, going everywhere looking for a way to help Felonid that you initially met.
You have broken her spirits. Good.
I know, but perhaps she needs to be put to work then. She'll have her go to the medical bay and get accustomed with the facility there, and see if she can be put to work there.
And that's when we find out our ship Perusian is a massive racist.
Not like during heavy on hours.
Yes,
Get the
he's
fuck outta here.
ecclesiarch.
Yes, I am a massive
He's
racist.
the ecclesiarch.
Hey, they're on their approved list, so go your
Yes,
dick.
they're on an approved list, but that doesn't mean I'm not having her followed around by a servitor the entire time she's in my med bay.
Sure, yeah, go for it. She mostly just Vanessa's hoping that she learns some of the tools and whatnot.
Look,
Not to
I
get
don't
in
have
the way.
I don't have anybody else on this ship that's smart enough and cares enough to learn about my job, I will teach her if she wants to.
And she wants to.
Yeah, no, she's while on the Medicaid deck with Avos, she busies herself. She's constantly learning how to use all these new items and different means.
The only thing she's not allowed to touch is my flamethrower. That's for purging heresy.
Oddly specific, but okay, yeah.
This one thing.
She took one look at it and realized that it was not a medical tool, so
It's useful for cauterizing wounds.
if by cauterizing wounds you mean burning entire people.
No.
Didn't know Promethean could do that. Anyways, on that, mostly just going around doing her duties, supplying the proper paperwork and data slates to our Lord Captain and any other the fellow officers, while waiting the dreaded Inquisition to show up. I mean, unless anyone has any business with her. That's what she does otherwise.
Ramirez is getting jacked looking like that. I found that picture today and it just fits too perfectly.
Well, that pretty much sums up that answer there. So, yeah, that's it for me.
I don't even know where to begin with that.
Actually, as a note, very quickly, I'm going to contact Ramirez. Ramirez, question.
Yes, sir.
You sent the message about the Inquisition, noting that
I
they
sent
were
the
going.
errata, don't worry.
Okay, have you gotten a response?
No, these things take time. It could be another day or so before the response is received.
All right.
Didn't we technically get a response?
We got a response to the original message, and then that's when I realized that, oh shit, I didn't tell them that, these weren't dangerous unsanctioned psychers.
I mean, they probably wouldn't believe
No
you.
such thing as non-dangerous unsanctioned psychers.
But they're loyal to the Emperor. That needed to be stressed.
They're still unsanctioned.
They're still unsanctioned. We're not disputing that fact with them.
But
that means that at literally any
the
moment they can
Liberation
explode into
Fleet
a
was
field
not
full
needed.
of demons.
we noted that a liberation fleet was not needed. Wait, no mass genocide. But yeah.
Right.
God, someone in the Imperium.
Ramirez is actually doing a bit of exercise to get that toughness bump I gave him. And just tending to my choir, making sure that they're all ready for the coming struggle.
Noted.
Doing my job that I've neglected to do for the past 3 months.
Right. Well, the days pass. The Navigator Venora is ready for duty once again. And preparations are made to perform the next warp jump.
Have you ever thought about not going to Orn?
We're fine.
Just to fuck with the GM?
Fine.
You guys can do
Fine.
whatever you want. I have backup shit planned. You guys can go right ahead.
Going on.
Oh, alright then.
In character, it's ill-advised to anger much more prominent rogue traders.
Especially ones known for piracy.
Vanessa does mention, I thought we were going to return to Port Wander.
That is going to be a very long trip, and with Lady Venora... Hang on, I know her name. I swear to God. Yeah, Lady Venora's new heart, it shouldn't be that much of an issue. We are going to go to Port Wander after this and get her an apprentice, though.
There is a saying for this, I believe, that is appropriate, Lord Captain. You know what? Never mind. She just like forgets what she was gonna say and just like waves everyone that was paying attention to it off. You're the captain.
I have something to say. You know what? No, I don't. Never mind.
There was the same mech on my ship. We currently have 2 sick dogs and only 1 bullet. We either go and assist the Navy in Shorta, or we return to Port Wanda to tend our business there.
The conflict could already be over and everyone could be gone.
How? Okay, because Miko doesn't know. How do these space battles tend to go, and how long do they take?
Hours.
Well, it's been a few
days,
days,
so.
Okay, so yeah, it's been days. It's probably over.
Yeah, we still go.
The sheer distance involved can mean that running battles can take a week or more to resolve, just because you're trying to fight across the length of a solar system.
Yeah, so it could still be going. We're gonna go. I don't want to be that guy who just doesn't show up to the party, especially when I'm hosting the fucking party.
Fair enough, Lord Captain.
Mariana was gonna interject. You know, the ship I serve on's over there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was on loan.
Also, I like that rear
Miranda,
end.
we didn't tell you. We planned this to get you permanent.
Oh. Oh.
This was all organized. You've been scouted.
You've been scouted. I hope you.
You, madam, have been shanghaied.
I hope you enjoy ludicrous amounts of money.
Anyways, if my presence isn't needed on the bridge right now, then I shall return to my quarters and settle other affairs. If I may be dismissed, Lord Captain.
Don't really think I'll need you right now, seeing as we're about to go through the warp. You're dismissed.
Thank you, Lord Captain.
As she leaves, I'm looking to a random crew member. Other affairs is probably Jim from accounting.
GM from accounting.
The crew member pays you no mind and continues about his business. He knows better to get involved.
I am not qualified to speak on that.
What would they say? GM from accounting?
Jim.
Wow.
Jim.
I was like, GM. That's breaking the fourth wall there, are we?
And that's what like, wow, these buttons and levers sure are interesting.
I'm sorry, sir. My oral receptors seem to be malfunctioning. Please direct all comments to my companion. What? I don't see a companion. He must not have come in for work today, sir.
Oh no, it's like a retarded server there.
That tech priest was playing Galactica.
So,
he thought I would notice.
That servitor has served on this ship since the pirates first attacked it, okay? That servitor has seen some shit.
Oh, this servitor was here when they were building the ship.
The servitor is being held together by rubber bands and paper clips.
As are all servitors.
It also has a red
just
tear on.
lobotomized people with robot parts stuck on.
Pretty much.
I think that kind of breaks my stomach warp jumping.
I like how no one in the Imperium pays fucking Oh god, Mira. Oh god, what was...
Why did you cut out there? That was just inconvenient as all shit and didn't make any sense.
To the fucking medical servitors. Must have been horrifying for her.
Good learning experience.
This is what happens if you don't contribute.
No, I didn't threaten her or anything. The imagination does way more than what words can do.
Just,
I mean, unless she asks, but it seems like she won't ask.
This is true.
Unless she asks, please, senpai, threaten me.
That raises many more questions. Anyways, warp jump, guys.
Yes. Navigator,
warp back to 7.
Yeah.
How long is this going to take?
Wow.
We get to the battle 3 years before it happens.
We set up 3 years before it happens. We set up a colony. A year later, the minute we jump back to Yamagor, oh god, please help us, we're under attack!
At any rate.
Huh. I knew warp travel was confusing, never this confusing.
I mean, there are documented cases in the lore of Imperial Liberation fleets arriving before the distress call was sent that summoned them.
That's gotta be the worst thing for those people. That's a liberation fleet. We're here to liberate you.
From what? From what? Enemy attack hits? Probably those guys. Going out on a limb here.
The attack hit. No. From what? Oh, there was nothing? Yeah, they leave. Then the enemy shows up. Then they send a distress signal.
It's a vicious cycle.
At any rate. But yes, Navigator Venora takes her station. The ship lurches into the warp. And it is actually a very quiet, all's well sort of journey.
That's a first.
It does take about it does take 2 days.
Oh wow, that's a really good time.
I'm watching everybody waiting for something to happen, waiting for some proof that not everything is okay. I am actively jumping at shadows.
Vanessa's enjoying the piece personally. Took time, fixed her statue, take care of business between the crew members and whatnot. And go ahead.
Yeah. Say your thing.
Anyways, spent time probably talking to some of the officers that she's supposed to be coordinating with. Like Lilia. Is it Liliana? I have to look. Lilia. Hey, I got it right. Bingo. All right. Lilia. And also talking to the Master at Arms more, trying to build up a friendship and checking in on Ramirez. Seeing as he's probably still being Ramirez.
I'm a little jumpy, okay? Things don't go well.
Actually, I'm probably not checking on Ramirez. He's probably checking in on me if he's being all paranoid and everything.
Have you sprouted 6 arms and 14
I'm opening your office door
no?
every now and then with the auto pistol in hand, slowly closing it, opening it again, making sure everything's okay. Slowly closing it.
Whereas that auto pistol is not going to help you if anything goes wrong in the warp.
I know, but it also won't hurt anybody.
Does that?
It also won't hurt anybody if I accidentally discharge this weapon.
Ah, dicks! That was annoying.
I mean, we say that it's 10mm equivalents, so
it won't hurt any of us. We should all be fine. Anyone with a name should be fine.
I have soft human flesh. I don't know.
You not
except my legs, the knee down.
I don't like being shot at.
I'm not always wearing my armor.
You see, that's where you're wrong. I'm always wearing my armor because I'm paranoid.
Wait, did you tell Vanessa how you got the legs?
No. I didn't.
Yeah, that would probably be one of the things.
Subject.
Oh. Well, she would bring it up and ask what battle caused you to lose your legs.
Nice warp we're having. What?
That's like right out of nowhere. This is like the highlight.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, so how'd you lose your fucking legs, man?
Yeah, no.
No,
I assumed that it was.
Ain't got no legs.
Full map, though she did, quickly change. The collection of prime haven't. How there's that weird crack by on one of Sanguinius' wings. I don't know how that happened.
Oh yeah, there was some turbulence in it. It fell, and the statue fell down. It was quite a shame. As she just plays along with that. Yeah, I might need to get a replacement, as such a defect it would be unsightly for the Angel Primarch, especially compared to his loyal brothers.
I would tend to agree. Though I do have to say, I've always found I had a fondness for something about that mustache is right magnificent.
Ah, you're a mustache lady?
Well, more to the point of less I would like him, more. He's the best looking of them to me.
Yeah, everyone has their preference. I think they all have aspects that they particularly shine in. Of course, this also comes down to the artist's interpretation too. The artist that made these individual statues um, made them fairly recently. I think 50 years ago or so. At least that's what the
How
seller
did
told
he
me.
now?
Yeah, and he based them off of one of the remembrances portraits. Though my sources tell me the person who did it really wasn't the remembrance. It was actually one of his very, very distant relatives trying to emulate some of his other work. The real portraits were actually lost to time and history. Or time and space. Mm-hmm. Time and history. Yeah, time and history. We'll go with that.
I do have to say he close on all the resemblances, considering, well, growing up on a shrine world, I was, well, effectively surrounded by magnificent statues of them, and as well as other saints.
Oh, you grew up on a shrine world. That surprises me. I assumed a woman of your status and bearing would have been born and raised on the vessel that you served, as is common with some of the other officers around here. Please do tell.
It was more an instance of my family molding me to be an officer for either the Imperial Guard or Imperial Navy, and eventually, well, they more decided, and well, off to serve. Yeah, words. Off to serve I went.
I think if I may boldly comment, I think the Imperial Navy was the best choice. I don't hear too many prestigious positions within the Guard. Not to mention they're always taking care of the difficult task of securing desolate rocks in space. Plus, we would have never met.
I would agree. I would agree. Honestly, void warfare is, I don't know, it's the most civilized form of.
I would agree with you there. Although I'm no expert in war myself, I've always fancied the imagery of mighty ships facing against each other and the beauty of the stars surrounding them. I actually have several portraits painted of several famous Imperial battles. If you'd care to view them at a later date, I have yet to find a place for them.
But yes, it's something about ships squaring up in gun lines, getting ready to go. What's better yet is laying down scores upon scores of the enemies of man.
Oh, yes, of course. Bring the God Emperor's wrath no matter where the filth may hide, correct? She laughs a little at that.
True.
So tell me, Oriana, do you intend to command a vessel of your own someday?
I do. Almost did, but unfortunately a series of events led command to blame me for something that wasn't rightly my fault.
What? If I may be so bold, what events transpired that would lead to such a unsound call such as that?
To not get too into it, first officer aboard a naval vessel, a Dictator-class ship, and we were boarded by forces of the arch enemy.
That must have been truly a harrowing experience.
She waits a moment before answering. She's not. It's less a case of not wanting to answer, more a case of she's not quite. She's spaced out, it seems.
Vanessa's like just sipping like a glass of like wine, just watching her expression. Like, oh, this is interesting. Mm.
And yes, it was. But nevertheless, I persevered, as well as some of the rest of the crew. And, well, at the end of the day, the captain of the vessel, well, for one reason or another, politics, the blame fell on me instead of him, even though it was his call that led to the boarding action to begin with.
So I see he allowed the blame to fall on his subordinates than himself. Well, what a petty act, especially as a commanding officer. And what a sad waste of talent, too, as she gestures to you. Do you drink?
Casually, yes.
Would you care for some? Here I am just sipping away here while you regale me with your war stories, and I haven't even offered you a glass of wine.
Oh, by all means.
She goes over, looks through a couple of bottles, kind of like looks back at Moriana, probably trying to judge, like, maybe she'll like this kind of look, and then brings you over some in a nice, very ornate glass, where it's actually more of a goblet, except the part that actually holds the liquid is made of glass framed within gold.
Look, it's the Imperium. Everything needs to be gold.
Hey, you can say whatever you want about the Emperor, but he had a sense of style.
I mean, you actually can't.
Gold is the great. Gold is the greatest color. All other colors are equally lesser compared to it.
I agree to that.
And he wonders why he had to keep correcting people about him not being God.
Don't judge me because I'm fashionable. Anyways, yeah, and then the glass itself has etchings of old primitive warriors dressed in plate armor, fending off of monstrous creatures.
And this one was of my third Dungeons and Dragons campaign. The GM from accounting is actually quite splendid.
Freaking out? Oh, sorry. Okay, dog's freaking out. Give it a good.
Yeah, his dog flips her shit at everything.
Do you have like a tiny dog?
The wind picked up slightly.
No, Ellie is, as I understand, Ellie's a fairly sizable hound.
Weird. She sounds small.
I was hearing my voice on here, and I sound like a. Oh wait, I probably can't say that while we're recording. Never mind that, audience. One person. Someone decided to exist, I guess. It tends to do that. So yeah, she also asks, what do you do on your off time exactly? Every time I see you around the ship, you're usually performing some important duty related to your station.
Right, I think. But no, she starts back up.
Give that dog food. Dogs love food.
He's not wrong.
I've just called her over, and I'm now like, well, she keeps looking over at the window. I get it. The wind is a horror. Fine.
Makes you feel better. My cat's scared of fans. Not sure why.
Ellie, don't worry. The wind won't come in here and try to murder us. I think.
Joke's on you, motherfucker. As soon as I find an opening. So, yeah. What do you do on your...
But no, sorry, you decided to freak out again. But no, during your free time. Well, the duties of an arms master leave me with very little time, comparatively to most of the crew. But either, well, writing or, well, a few other activities, but nothing too exciting.
Oh, well, writing. What do you exactly write? Stories, poetry, or just your own personal thoughts?
Gives a slight smirk and a little bit of an embarrassed look. A wee bit of really turning my own personal stories into, well, turning them into a series of books, effectively.
Oh, a set of biographies. Very fascinating. I too also collect literature, though I'm no writer. If you have any already put into print or anything, I would be most eager to purchase a copy from you. Perhaps also get your personal signage over it. She gestures for you to follow her, and she takes you into like one of the rooms in her big quarters that was gutted out, and you see a bunch of old wooden bookshelves filled with different tomes on various different subjects.
Uh,
I cannot
absolutely.
Hmm?
God damn it, Michael.
What? I didn't hear that.
Did you pay for literacy? Did you pay for literacy, Pat?
I wait. No,
Static.
I'm freaking have it.
Seems between you
Yes,
and the
I've been
god
writing my
emperor.
thoughts down in this book. It's just a collection of stick figure drawings.
But yeah, no, I do in fact have literacy.
I would hope so. I want words. Anyways, yeah. So she shows you around the books there. If you ever want to read any of them, I'm more than happy to loan them out to a fellow officer, especially if it will help amend our troubled past.
You know, bookshelf. Start looking across it, just see if any of them, or see if any of the titles catch her eye.
I mean, there's pretty much books on almost any subject you can imagine. Different editions, some on the same thing, some contradicting others, historical accounts. There's even a shelf of data slates. There's even books that are damaged and incomplete.
The,
The what?
The the Dark Angels Codex. The third edition Dark Angels Codex, second edition.
Yeah, you notice that one's completely beaten up and torn to pieces, and looks like someone scribbled in it. Smart ass. So actually, she watches you looking over the books, seeing which ones you particularly fancy.
Real historical nonsense. To certain events that won't go too much further. they really stop at Great Crusade era, but any of them that are from humanity's the Imperium's golden age.
I don't know. Would I have books of that?
Oh.
Would that be possible, DM? I have to ask.
You might have one or two. Those are extremely rare and heavily treasured.
Okay, so she has like one or two, though not first edition, sadly.
I have carved out the contents of one of those books to hide my smut.
And that is when
And
you
you,
learn
sir,
you
are
don't.
going to be burned by the next ecclesiarch you see.
They
I can
were
tell you-
already going to burn me, Shane. I have enemy ecclesiarchy.
You can only burn me once, bros, but it's gonna hurt like a bitch.
We
Anyways.
have to hold. We have to hold Avos back anytime you two cross each other in the hall.
Why do you think my surgery always takes so long?
Oh god.
He always says, "Oh, we're
Just-
at anesthetic today." We're always at a fucking anesthetic.
Avos, you literally just used
Nice.
it on me. Cut your crap.
Lord Captain,
so
if
yeah.
I use it on you, you'd be asleep. So night, night.
Oh jeez. So Vanessa goes up to Oriana and noticing that she seems to gravitate towards the more historical books. You looking for something more historic? It seems you're looking for something in a particular era. Perhaps I could assist. These are mine, so I know where every book is.
I was just skimming through. Yes, anything that, well, more historic tomes and records.
Stories?
There was at least historical records and tomes, but there was at least one that dates back to at least the era of the Great Crusade.
Yes, I have a couple of historical records, though not in the best of shape. And they do date only back towards the end of the Great Crusade, sadly. Very sad period, but I'm more than happy to loan them out to you, though I do ask you take very great care of them. They are some of my prized pieces.
I would do nothing to harm them. You would get them back in potentially even greater condition.
Oh, jeez. Maybe I should loan out some of my more damaged items then, if that's the case. She laughs at that a bit. Speaking of loaning out and whatnot, I do have a small request if you'd hear it out. And I assure you it wasn't the reason that...
Calling in?
Hmm?
Going to say, calling in that...
I wasn't going to go that far. It was just a mere request. You would be even compensated at the end of it. No, my dear. That favor I will hold on for a much more rainier day than this day. She laughs a little. Don't take it personal. But you are very knowledgeable in the ways of combat, as I am not. I was wondering perhaps if you had the free time, you could teach me a few things. Some private lessons.
Oh, I was actually going to ask if you would mind accompanying me for the training drills for the armsmen.
I'd be most delighted in that. It'd be most a wonderful way. It would definitely break the monotony of this oddly pretty calm warp travel. You could give me a tour of the facilities.
Yes,
I've not
this
been
is-
around that part.
Very well. But I was going to comment on that this has been a rather peaceful journey. There's actually some of the things I have seen during warp travel. Well, hard to believe. It is the warp. So, seemingly anything can happen here.
Very true. What does the calmness of this particular voyage send you at unease? I mean, you do strike me as a
Truth be
woman of action.
told, a fair bit wary. As if it's toying with us, kids gloving us, I should say. just coiling up and getting ready for the proper moment.
Hmm? You're not one for superstitions, are you? As she takes a last sip of her cup.
Yeah, I was born on a shrine world. Superstition does come naturally, and
Well, that's
service
different
in the
between
Imperial Navy taught me to be very careful around the empiric energies.
Mm. Well, I hope you don't go taking to like some of the lower borns of the decks, sacrificing any stray vermin that gets on board as an offering to the ship,
Oh,
or however the
no,
practices
nothing so
go on down
crass.
there.
So long as the Mechanicum keeps the machine spirits sated and we give our fervent devotion to the God Emperor, we'll be absolutely fine.
Of course, and we also have each other to keep each other safe as well. Hmm?
I was
Didn't
gonna say
hear
like, conversation up and down. No, just
conversation up and
this
down.
is true.
Oh,
No, up and died.
oh, all right, yeah.
Yeah, this is true. Though it's been quite some time since I've had to deal with any kind of, well, let's a field range warp phenomenon, at least to the degree that we would have to call upon one another to contend with it, whether it be
I didn't mean
illusions
anything
or...
like that. As she laughs,
No.
I mean, if something like that did happen, I would assume we would all be together. No, I meant just in general. We're a crew here, and I know we've had our rocky bits. There are others that I do need to make amends with, though I will in time. But I'm assured that if anything serious were to happen on board the ship, we would all have each other's back. Speaking of,
Hmm? Go at all.
as she begins to lead Moriana sort of out of her dormitory, because she offered to take her for the drill, unless that's a different day. Like, should we proceed to the?
I was gonna say just. I'm assuming that would probably be like the next day that you would be properly integrated into the drilling.
Oh, okay. The way you made it sound was as if it was to be today. Sorry, I was excited to see what exactly the training entailed. Also, if you ever need any help with your writings, I'd be most eagerly to lend my hand. I may deal with much more drier matters, but my penmanship is top.
I will consider that then. And thank you, said Moriarty. And thank you, Vanessa. This has been a lovely talk.
Of course, like I said, anytime you need to talk, I'm more than eager to listen. Maybe next time we could have a get together in your quarters.
Could do. I'd warn you ahead of time that it's a bit more Spartan than yours. Mostly due to, well, my actual quarters would have been on board the vessel I served, so not much was able to be brought here.
If you would care, I could also assist you in those matters. I have many decor and extra materials lying around that could sparse up even the most dreariest of caves. Plus, to be fair, this entire ship is pretty.
Thank you, but I was going to say I thank you, but Well, we're traveling to On now, and assuming that the battle goes well, I'll probably be transferring back to my vessel. It feels,
Vanessa kind of like puts a hand over her mouth. You know, like, really? But
Whose mouth?
I thought we would have you longer. We are in desperate need of someone of your talent and skill. It'd be a shame to lose you.
just slowly removes the hand. Just like, a bit of a wild ride serving aboard this vessel.
And you tell me you haven't enjoyed this wild ride? And she kind of just like gives like a little sly smile.
It's been interesting.
There's mostly
Certainly not.
Mm. Well, I mean, what would exactly be the criteria for if you wanted to stay on our vessel? I mean, I'm sure the Lord Captain could make some arrangement with your superiors, who seem to unappreciate the sacrifices you have made and your skills, if I may say. To forgive me for speaking ill of them.
It has been a bit. Well, it has taken me quite some time to claw my way back up the ranks. A bit too long, if you ask me, but so is the Imperial Navy and the incessant politicking that takes place within it. But if the Lord Captain was to convince the leader of my battle group that I should have a more permanent transfer, by all means.
I think that should be arranged.
He is a rogue trader, after all.
Yes, his
He's a rogue
office
trader,
does give
after
him the
all.
power.
And if he were to think so, then, well, as simply an arms or a master of arms, who would I be to argue with him?
I think that would be a most better idea. Better than to have you waste guarding some fringent part of space. Though the God Emperor's work is important, I feel your potential is wasted. And he has put you here for a reason, I think.
So at that first bit, there was that eyebrow raise, like, oh, and then with the rest of that, that goes down. You saved it.
She just gives she gives her a smile. I meant no offense by my previous thing. It's just you're so talented. And from what you've told me and the way you carry yourself, and the fact that you're, once again, forgive me for making light of your very important role, but just an arms master, you should be at least a little more higher up in the rank, my untrained opinion.
I would tend to agree. I feel as if I should be captaining my own vessel. Circumstances have led me to where they have. Not that keeps me from, well, ambitiously striving forward. But again, if the Lord Captain decides that he wants me to stay a bit more permanently and work something out, then I would be happy to stay.
Then I will talk to him about it then. I would definitely love to keep you a part of our crew.
I couldn't impose this on you.
You don't have to. I've already made the choice and intend to do it. So someone with your skills should not be mistreated or misused. A woman like you, she kind of like puts a hand back on your shoulder, a more firmer hand, needs to be applied at what they're best at. Needs to be given room to sharpen their blade. Yeah. and needs to be always tested. You're not just simply someone that should be just delegated to the same monotonous duty day in and day out.
Like you're buttering her more as to how far or what exactly you're going on about, or what exactly you mean by that, but just.
Basically saying you got talent, you got skills,
Yeah.
and they're just making you an error more. Just want to get the subtext there. And she thinks with her help,
But
you would go far. Farther than any of your superiors would allow you to get.
hello, Cat. You're suddenly here now.
Anyways, if you have other important matters.
Sorry.
Anyways, if you have any other
Sorry, no, the cat had just walked up, giving me any amount of attention. The dog freaked out because the cat can't have any attention given to it.
Oh, God. Yeah, I know that feeling. I have a dog and cat too. But, yeah, she says, well, I wouldn't want to keep you from what limited time you have off. I would hate to be so selfish as to take all your time. I hope you do forgive that.
Oh, it's quite all right. I've had a lovely time. But you are correct. I really should be going.
I look forward to training with you and the rest.
It was not going to be easy.
Of course, I imagine you're a very hard person to please.
As she's walking away, her mind went somewhere else with that and is thinking of Regaius. She's like, no.
Yeah, Vanessa's just giving her a smile as she's walking out. Anybody else?
Skander is going to call Lilia to his office.
He's going to go to his office, because why would Miko want to RP the character he's actively playing?
Just as she enters, going to just put 10 pieces of paper on the desk that all look very similar. I thought when I came of age, you would stop testing my pinionship.
Your tests can never end because your duties call for you to always be sharp.
I really should give up on that. I'm just a fool.
You only found 10. That's disappointing.
Like I said, I'm a fool.
And that's why you must be constantly tested. Skander, you need to constantly improve. Especially if we're going to tackle such an ambitious goal you've set for us. Penmanship is the least of the things I can test, but it's the safest of the things I can test on the ship.
I suppose. Sort of just sits looking up at the ceiling. I really wish Telemachus were the one doing this. He was born for it.
He was. But missing Telemachus and wishing he were here to do this job doesn't take away the fact that he needs you to do it now.
I'm aware.
You've a responsibility, Iskander. One that you may not have been groomed for, but one that is put upon you. adapt, grow, learn. It's not terribly different than what you were originally doing. You do need to learn to be a bit more personable, though.
Hmm. How so?
Well, first off, I've never witnessed you in a proper meeting, but I'm going to assume that, well, in the metagaming way, you're not very good at it.
It's almost as if I was trained to captain ships and kill enemies of the Emperor.
Yes, you were also trained to understand strategy and tact and timing.
Strategy, yes. Tact, not necessarily. And timing, in regards to a battlefield, sure.
Social encounters and interactions are very much a battlefield. You're navigating around any pitfalls your enemy may be trying to lead you to, so that they end up in a better position than you are. You're constantly in a struggle to make sure that you're not being buried by your enemy's words or their ulterior motives.
Hmm.
In fact, it's a much more dangerous battlefield because the dangers are a lot less obvious. You can step on a mine and lose both your legs without ever knowing it. And then whenever you're dragging yourself through the muck, the blood, and the viscera in the field, you'll only realize that you've lost your legs after your enemy has taken everything from you. And that's how a bad business deal feels. There's a knock at the door.
They can wait. Unless you're done.
Well, I was pretty much done with my conversation there. My rant, I was going to just prattle on endlessly. That knock honestly snapped me out of my reverie.
Come in.
See Lady Vanessa. Ah, Lord Captain. Ah, Lady Lilia. She goes to hug Lady Lilia.
Screw it. Return the hug. Just hug, pat on the back, and then push away. Professionalism.
Understood, my lady. She kind of smiles and laughs at that. Oh, you missed our appointed meeting a few days ago. Just letting you know.
Yes, it's almost like I'm the backup character and I'm sitting in the wings waiting.
Yes. And anyways, I came to ask the Lord Captain about our Master of Arms and what appears that might be her temporary stay aboard our vessel.
Oh, it sounds like you two have business. May I be dismissed, Iskander?
Of course.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
going to go slink back off to the fucking bar that all of the backup characters are waiting in.
okay. You can play both characters, man. Just saying. And plus, not gonna lie, Ramirez, kind of hard to approach. Just throwing it out there. Try.
It's almost like he wears a gas mask and is generally creepy.
I know. So what do you want us to do? It's not like
It's almost like I had
things.
my own interaction plan before another character of mine was called to the bridge, and damn it, I'm an actor first.
Well, I mean, you were called to my office. I'm not at the bridge.
Yeah.
Never. I was called somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyways,
We don't get costumes we wear, Dan. We just wear them.
Anyways, Lord Captain, so as I was saying, apparently Moriana stays temporarily?
She is on loan to us from the Imperial Navy.
I know it's not my place to say this, but should we not, when we meet up with them again, make an effort to keep her? I've done some talking with her, and it seems that her current post at the Imperial Navy, they're simply just wasting her talent.
She has the same post here as she would there, so don't see how it's possible.
Well, to put it this way, if you were to send me on a guard post here in the upper decks, compared to someone who has to guard the lower decks, would you say that's completely the same thing, Lord Captain?
Sort of stops what he's doing. I feel as though you're trying to make a point. Now, as I do not have the intellect nor the time to decipher your point, to speak plainly.
She's a good master at arms. You should keep her. The Imperial Navy, from what she has informed me, is wasting her talents, and most of her superiors seem to hold resentment towards her. It'd be a lot easier to keep her than to find someone of similar qualifications. That is all I wish to say.
At some of similar qualifications, whether the Inquisition gives her back or not is, well, remains
We
to
all
be
hear the
seen.
stories, Lord Captain, about what the Inquisition does to those they take in their tender embrace.
Both, perhaps. But her situation is unique. I'll think on it.
Very well, Lord Captain. That's all I wish to mention. Sorry to disturb whatever meeting was happening. I hope
It was
nothing
ending
important.
anyway.
Okay. Anyways, I will let you back to your work then. And she gives a slight bow and excuses herself.
Next, I will summon Ramirez to my chambers.
I'm going to put on my gas mask now, but I mean my physical one as I approach the door and enter the office.
Have a seat.
Of course, Lord Captain. I'm going to go and take a seat.
Ramirez, I have a question for you. I want you to give me your honest opinion.
I will do my best, Lord Captain.
Vanessa seems to think we should keep Moriana permanently. What are your thoughts on the matter?
She has proven to be a capable master at arms, and more so than that, she has proven to have a morale boosting effect on the men, at least from what I've seen with her. I've seen. I don't know why, but what's his name, Shane?
Probably don't know. Regias?
It is Regias.
Yes.
Regias seems very upbeat as of late. He's done nothing but preach the wonders of her teachings and her drills. A lot of drilling he talks about.
Oddly strange. I don't recall him doing that when she first got here.
But the men seem content with their new leadership, and as a personal matter, I think she's a fine master at arms. My only gripe is that it feels like we constantly get an influx of nobles here. I'm not used to being around nobility.
I understand what you mean entirely. It can be rather draining and irritating.
Noble.
Yes. It's almost like I grew up with a lot of people I didn't fucking
To be
like.
fair, a noble is the one that would say a noble is that would say nobles are the most draining kind of people.
Oh, and now I have to deal with this asshole, who's probably fucking his cousin and doing the exact same goddamn thing as the last one. Anyways.
Yes. But that's my honest opinion. If we were to be able to keep her, it would be a boon to the men.
Also, Ramirez, your choir, will they be needing anything?
Dungeon Master and other people who know the lore and like what psychers would benefit from. Because all I know is the bare damn minimum. I don't think there's actually anything that would make the choir function more efficiently.
Mechanically I don't believe so. I think mechanically you might just
We
want to upgrade the
all need
crew.
Vaporeon Glass Hawks. Don't ask questions, we just need them.
Fucking Praetorian Guard.
We need the Robohawks. That is all. To my knowledge, no, Lord Captain. The choir is functioning at its peak efficiency. I can ask around, though, for you.
Do that. They've served well.
And I will at my earliest convenience, Lord Captain.
Last question.
Of course.
Oriana wasn't the one to bring this matter to my attention. It was Vanessa. Strikes me as the tiniest bit odd.
Oh?
Then again, perhaps I may be paranoid.
What are we discussing?
Well, it just seems to me it was a very short time that Vanessa and Moriana must have seemed to have made up, and then Vanessa, for whatever reason, had decided she wanted to keep Moriana around, coming here to plead that she stay, or suggested.
I do think you're being a touch paranoid, Lord Captain, as I would have done the same had I realized her stay with us was temporary. Oriana is a good crewman.
Suppose that's true. Now,
To share or not to share? There is, however, a matter that Lady Vanessa did come to me for, and she was wishing for me to establish contact with Lady Aspis Shorta's, well, astropaths. I thought it an odd request, but if it had your permission, I wouldn't have turned a blind eye to it, but she did not have your permission. And that's really where that ended. She understood that I could do nothing without your say-so. Just struck me a bit odd.
keep me informed of all of Lady Vanessa's attempt to contact others, if you will. From what she's discussed with me, she wishes to remain on good terms with Lady Chorda. I personally
It would be a wise decision. Me and her both agreed on that much. At least for the time being, having one of the bigger fish in the sea not wanting to snap at us is admirable. It's an admirable, it's a benefit to not have enemies in high places.
It's a benefit, but Chorda, we could give Chorda any number of gifts, and she may still snap at us regardless.
Yes,
Though
which is why we need to be careful. It's like baiting I don't know a 40k dangerous animal, so I'm going to say shark.
There's sharks, probably. Or you could say sea predator.
It's like baiting those
Chardons?
Okay, we're not going to talk about the space sharks. We're not going to talk about the Garchardons. God damn those magnificent bastards.
It's like baiting a dangerous animal. You're trying to stay enough in its good graces while still completely understanding its nature means it will likely kill you if you're too close to it. We just need to keep her at arm's length and keep her as satisfied as we can. At least until we have enough power of our own to ward off any direct assaults or harassment from her and hers.
That was my idea. I've okayed those transmissions between her and Shorta. But do keep me informed about any sort of request or the contents of the messages.
If that is your wish, Lord Captain.
That'll be all.
I'm going to leave. Then I'm going to ask my choir if they want anything. It's like, Lord Captain's going to give us something. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is. It doesn't matter if it's important. What do y'all want? It's
I want
an
ice cream party.
You know what? We can probably do that.
They will be getting back to you on that shortly when they decide what the fuck they want.
Lord Captain's doing what for us? Shit, boys, what do we want?
Shit, we never thought we'd actually get this.
Wait, rewards? Holy shit.
I know, it's strange. Look, the Lord Captain seems to trust me. I know, outrageous enough. But...
I know, what an idiot. But...
I know, not only am I a psyker, I'm the one with the gas mask that never takes it off. I'm just going to have like kids slumber party talk with my choir to decide what the fuck we're gonna get.
Oh God.
I will compile a list for you after the session.
Alrighty.
Make it ridiculous.
Please.
Oh, I'm gonna be pouring over
Why?
all the books.
Vanessa, why did we okay a request for a petting zoo full of groks?
No,
I
wait.
know.
I
That
know
would be
why.
the most disturbing petting zoo ever, as groks are giant cattle lizards.
Also, who wanted
No,
an orgy ice cream party?
Dragons. The cow dragons.
Okay, you throw
Dragons.
orgy in the ice cream party and it starts to sound very Slaneshi.
I know, right? Also, who wanted 2,000 shoes? No, not just like a bunch of different shoes, all of the same make and model. And the tricky part is, each pair of shoes are 2 different sizes.
Why did somebody order 20,000 shoes? Not 20,000 pairs of shoes, 20,000 individual left shoes.
I don't even know what this one is. It just says brick. Not a quantity, not a brick of them. Just a brick.
I got a brick out of Port Wander. I'm pretty sure it wasn't supporting any important walls.
Also, someone thinks they're a smart ass and said Vanessa's ass.
We will not be honoring that one.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. I know how it sounds, but you'll have to take one for the team.
I have
Vanessa,
a frontal pistol. You know that, right?
Yes, I know that, which is why I'm not getting on
Anywho.
the bad side. It's
Anywho.
Jim over there in accounting.
Anywho. Now that we've gone wildly off topic.
Tends to happen.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I mean, next day, Vanessa does her training with Oriana. You know, probably not doing the best job keeping up with the others, but she's mostly trying to learn basic combat stuff and trying to just continue to strengthen the friendship. She also, when they have time, does mention that she spoke to the Lord Captain.
All just a thing.
Yeah.
For that day before we actually move on, because I had a thing.
Oh, go for it. No, I didn't know if people wanted to continue that. So yeah, she reports.
Put a message. But no, but yeah, Moriana's going to take these gonna go back to her quarters on a long and silent walk, and once inside, she's going to just sit down on her bed, and in basically complete and total silence, then recollecting the events that transpired that led to her new legs, and stare down at them for a bit before, in one quick motion, disconnecting them from her upper legs and then throwing them at the nearest wall. Then just lay back onto her bed, staring up at the ceiling. Then finally, after a long bit, going to have her guys called up to her quarters.
Noted.
I presume he shows up.
He does.
But and I assume just knocks on the door.
Yep.
Okay. She's going to tell him to come in. And upon entering, it's her with like the jacket and most of her uniform just tossed to the side. It's just her in a blouse with just the I guess they're technically shorts. The pants only would go to like her knees, but in a blouse
They're
and
pirate
those and
pants.
just pirate pants. Fair enough. But yeah, and is holding on. Isn't a technically fetal position, but the knees down are gone. But yeah, she's just holding on to She's just holding on to her legs and kind of just pats the bit of the bed next to her.
Regaius slowly comes to sit down next to her. Ma'am?
Needs to do something for me.
Anything I can, ma'am.
I just need someone to be with me for a while.
He nods and lays down next to you. As long as you need me, ma'am.
She leans over. And she begins to quietly sob into him.
That's the power of words, kids.
Well,
I am
that's the
not
power
getting
of P.
paid enough for this shit.
Unfortunately, this was also the day that Regaius was scheduled to guard the armory. No one was left, and all the guns were stolen.
Oh no, the guns were stolen. Oh.
PTSD.
Anyway.
We just don't tell the little captain the guns are missing. It's fine.
Alright, shut up.
Fuck. Alright. Shane getting angry. But yeah, no. Is just silently sobbing into him, and that's about it.
Right. You two lay there for an undisclosed amount of time. The warp travel passes, and as the expectation is that you will soon be exiting the warp, all officers are called to the bridge. Well, all ranking officers, anyway.
All officers on the bridge?
All
The bridge
bridge
is like
commi-
super bad.
All bridge command staff, so anyone whose duty station is aboard the bridge.
Do I
Yeah,
technically
question,
go to
where is
that?
my duty station?
Technically, yours would be on the bridge, Ramirez.
I don't think mine was. I mean, I know they made a place for me, but would I report to that? Well, serious question.
I'm sitting on my
I mean, it's
swivel
probably the
chair,
place you could be
spinning
the
around.
most helpful in a given situation that might require you to be there.
Okay, it's just the way you phrased it. It was like anybody was appropriate. You know, it's like, oh, we got the master of auspex and whatnot, and this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, well, sure, I should show up then. Yeah, after she's still aching after the training with Moriana.
But yes, you are all on the bridge as the ship exits the warp to find the scene you've fallen into is not the prettiest. As you enter the Orin system, at first you might think the first thought that occurs to you is, man, that moon is really close to that planet O.
Ramirez, that's no moon, is it?
It's a space station.
That's is that Moriarty and the Merca boys?
No, it's far too sleek for that. Despite the
The orc
deep
body hits
gouge
against the
down it.
windshield.
A few frozen Gretchen, yeah.
Well, that's what
Oh, one of those.
Or just, poof. Don't worry, he'll be fine.
Just a random orc hits the windshield, just starts smashing the windshield.
Oh, random orc hits
Someone
the
turn the
windshield.
wipers on.
Giant windshield wiper.
Oh, heal me! Do the thing. Thank you.
Fire me, I got stuck. Do the thing. Fire it.
Yes, no, but a couple of frozen. Oh god. A couple of frozen Gretchen float past the float past the viewports, making their fingers eternally frozen in rude gestures.
Well, no, Vanessa.
Died with their xenopride intact.
What pride? They're
Someone give me
Xenos.
the rear admiral.
At any rate, continuing the description, the moon-sized vessel with the hideous gouge down its side is currently drifting further away from you, out into the depths of space away from the rest of the system. Between you and it is a sea of fighting and dead ships. Several sleek Eldar craft, a considerable number of them in fact, are currently dancing between the scattered lines of Chora and the battle fleet. The closest group of allied ships to you is actually the remnants of the battle fleet patrol that was sent to assist you. Vanessa, your home ship is burning.
Like,
not Vanessa, Moriana.
I was like, that was a long time ago, man.
All of you.
Well, did we just like
in
see
the
my
past.
ship come through time or something?
But
To be
anyway,
fair, I made the same mess up, and Moriana is even my character.
Okay, I thought you. I could have sworn there was just, but then like that funny moment of just like, don't worry, Rear Admiral, we've come to help you. Oh God, it's a
No.
terrible plan.
But yes, Moriana, in fact, your home ship is burning. It is blasted, burning, and desperately trying to spool its warp drive to escape. Currently, it is covered by its sister ship and their last remaining escort, trying to absorb as much fire as they can on their shields and hulls to give their sister ship time to escape.
Helmsman, move us in.
Captain, we should move into
Fire
assist.
macro rounds, man.
I'm aware. Move us in.
Yeah, so your ship
Vanessa looks worried significantly, like, oh, fuck.
We're vastly outnumbered still, aren't we?
it's a pretty bad scene. As your Cobra class destroyer begins to move in, effectively countercharging a few Eldar ships they're making their diving attack at the crippled vessel. Your
Quick,
augers continue to
shoot them with torpedo bits. Oh wait, damn.
Yeah. Man, those refits are a bitch, ain't they?
And we're gonna refit.
That's fine.
At any rate, as you're moving in to engage, your auger arrays continue to pick up more of the battlefield. Many of Chorda's own escort vessels are heavily damaged but not yet dead in the water, but have resorted to, basically creating small wolf packs for themselves and trying to basically circling the wagons, trying to hold out against the charging Eldar vessels. And the Eldar's void tactics being effectively being jousting charges. Meanwhile, Chorda's flagship, the Implacable Flame, and her two mystery cruiser escort vessels are on the very edge of the battlefield, currently chasing a single Eldar cruiser. One that appears to have been badly damaged even before they began chasing it. Its solar sails are shredded, its frame is twisted and buckled, but it doesn't seem to be at all negatively affected by its status as it continues to just race away from them. Chorda seems to have abandoned not only the battlefield but even her own escorts to give chase to this vessel.
So I'm going to try and as we move into support this Imperial vessel that's trying to escape, as these Eldar craft are diving down, could I get ramming speed on them just to hit them from the side?
You could
Surprise,
attempt.
motherfucker.
How advised is that? Like, how big is our ship compared to these Eldar vessels?
That was my next question.
Part of the attack force that is coming down on the crippled ship is escort vessels. You could aim for one of them and at least be hitting something in your own weight class. The problem though with
We're not punching, like, the heavyweight champ is a welterweight.
yeah, the notable problem with this, you could head for a. I'm trying to word this properly in my mouth now. You could make for a collision course with one of the vessels, but the Eldar don't use shield technology. They use something called holofields. Each of those ships appears as 3 or 4 of that ship, slightly displaced.
Whether we try and shoot them around them, there's a chance we're gonna miss.
Yep.
Yeah. There's
You know my belt? Pretty much like that.
Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 versions of each ship appearing in your auger arrays that are just occupying sort of the same general area.
I mean, moving into try and assist and just using the macro cannon.
Alright. And one among you, give me a ballistic skill test to fire the macro cannons.
That's gonna be Chase. How far away are they?
They're towards the end of the effective range of your guns.
Can we move in and give them a better shot?
Well, you are currently closing in, so
Okay, so no advantages then.
no real advantage to this, no.
And what are my terrible negatives because they have the hollow thing?
Minus 20.
Alright. Minus 14.
Why are you at... Okay.
8 point.
What? I thought Jace's ballistic skill was better than that.
It's a 60, and we've always had advantages. Actually, hang on a question, because I don't know if the ship gives me anything. I don't think it does. It's just resilient as all fuck.
There's only for Cobra, but yes.
I keep forgetting our ship has a sheet.
Yeah, it does. I'm looking at it right now. Combat bridge. As long as the bridge remains intact. Nope. Currency pattern. Nope. Nope. There's really nothing involving guns.
All right. That was the right.
It is purely all about being really durable.
Nope.
Holographic piece of fucking mismatched shit.
We missed. We did it.
Specifically, though, with your firing, announcing the presence of another ship that the Eldar had appeared to have been blind to for the moment does throw that particular escort off its current attack run.
Shit, bail out. Where'd that come from?
We're flanked!
Just like them filthy Xeno cowards.
Let's try and pin down which ship's the ship.
Crap. Let's run to where's that?
Wait, what ship is the ship? Are we going for a specific ship?
They have okay, so
Oh, holofields, yeah. Never mind.
yeah, the holofields. Get rid of some of these fucking things. Because I know this is wrong.
There cannot be that many ships in that location acting simultaneously. Some of them are overlapping.
Damn. Would my character have knowledge a little more, since considering she does carry basically sort of the same technology right around her hips? Could she give some sort of useful advice or something? Mm.
Do you have
Oh yeah,
knowledge,
your pilot
Xenos?
suit.
No, I don't, but I have the tool. I don't expect anything big from it, but like she knows a little.
I'll let you treat. I'll let you treat Forbidden Lore Eldar as a basic skill,
Damn it, I could have aimed.
since you are at least familiar with the basic. You're familiar with the basic idea of the technology.
Okay.
Meanwhile, considering I've been a naval officer for quite some time, could I potentially scholastic lore tactical imperials to be like, hey, potentially do this?
All right.
So with basic lore, what's the penalty for basic lore?
Okay, for a basic skill, is that it's at half the relevant
Okay.
attribute.
All right. And the half would be intelligence, so 20. Mm.
Yeah, it's.
But
You're not sure how it translates to ship scale combat.
Fair enough.
But yes, you can go ahead and roll
Shame my
Tactical
thing.
Imperialis.
Awesome. And okay, good.
You know that naval doctrine for fighting the Eldar is generally to throw as much ordnance and fire into the location until something hits. Generally, once you've gotten a hit on the ship, you can extrapolate from that impact which ship is the real one.
That's hold on. What? Let me just check the facing of our armaments. Dorsal, yes, and prow, nice. Oh, and that's all we have.
You are an escort class vessel.
It's almost like we're not meant
We
to
don't
be the
even.
big boys.
You could say we were
don't,
meant to.
Don't even have
escort.
the. We don't even have the Jovian. We don't. We're a missile boat. We're a torpedo boat without even the fucking front-facing torpedo. Oh my god.
Hey, don't look at me, man. I
The
didn't make
Cobra's
this boat.
meant for.
The ship was heavily damaged, and the Navy was willing to the point that the Navy was just sort of looking at writing it off before the Ecclesiarchy stepped in. So,
God damn it.
So we need to get a torpedo
God damn
too.
it. Yes, we need that.
When we get another ship, we're going to refit this to have torpedoes.
Or refit it now
Well.
or soon. That way we have an additional weapon.
Calm down, Pat.
We'll figure this all out after this fight. Come on, boys.
I'm trying to think of ways to, work with the information I was just given that isn't just shoot it more. But yeah, that was a bust.
You do also know that specifically it's normally something done for sword and even Faustine class frigates. That ships lacking large-scale ordnance or a large number of guns can effectively negate the advantage of the Eldar's holofield if they're able to get close. Effectively, once they're inside an area where it's telling you the ship is, the system doesn't work as well.
Get closer, men.
Lord Captain, if we're going to negate the advantage of the holofields, we need to be right down their throats.
Well, on that note, Shane, because I have pilot spacecraft, can I make a piloting test?
You may make a pilot spacecraft test to try and get yourself within knife fighting range of the Eldar.
Vanessa makes a clearly not happy face about this.
I'm
But,
going to run
doesn't
down
say
to my
anything.
choir chamber and summon my choir.
Get ready, yos! Get ready, my boys!
That was supposed to be a scander, but we're there. I basically take the helm out of the way.
He's like, wait, what?
Tran-
Bumps into something off soon.
Oh,
transfer navigation to my command console. Transferred, sir.
If I'm remembering this correctly, wouldn't he have added the ship's maneuverability to that?
He would indeed. So it's actually considerably better.
So that's actually 78.
Oh, shit. But yes, there's that gleam in Iskander's eyes when he's given control of the ship and is just, okay. There's that feeling of, alright, now this I know.
No, Vanessa's actually impressed by this. Seeing him in his element for once.
Mm-hmm.
Get within knife fighting range. Hello, motherfucker! And we have a gun. Can we fire that? It needs to be someone besides Jace, if I recall correctly.
Well, what's anyone else's ballistic skill?
I can fire the guns with a 32, but I'm going to my quiet chamber so you guys can actually hit things.
34. I mean, I'm gonna count what you expect.
Here you go. All right, that minus was a hefty minus 20, correct, Shane?
We're closer now, though, so I think we're within range. We have range
you,
bonuses, I would say.
You have managed to close with the enemy, from how close you are, and the fact that the hollow field is losing effectiveness as you get close and can actually read the emanations from the system itself. You're not actually going to take any negative from the hollow field.
Also, Abe, don't forget to do that, because I forgot to do that.
Huh? Well, that's fate point to keep that from being so horrible.
Fate point spent.
There we go.
Bless you.
Ah, Shizwazzler.
Can I spend a fate point for her?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn.
Fate points affect yourself. But
This does involve me. I'm on the damn ship. I'm by proximity.
Just gotta get my choir singing and I have an idea.
So, Mike, just real quick, Shane, are we within half range of the cannon? Because I don't know if that's a thing or not.
It should, I would think.
I only ask because I remember insane bonuses going on, and we just lost Pat again.
Fucking really?
He's out of the roll 20.
God damn it.
You still with us on Skype, Pat? No?
No, he's out of the roll 20. He's gone.
Just let me know when I can do my actions, because I just found the one thing that I can do in this book.
Good old Nevis primer.
Yup.
But just because I think that might have hit if the range increments count. Do they?
One moment. Double checking. Don't want to screw you guys.
When you say knife fighting range, you mean like we're like right up on their ass, right?
I mean, in spaceship level combat, so there's still a couple thousand kilometers between you, but
We're relatively close void unit wise, though. We're right on their ass void unit wise.
yes.
Yeah, just let me know when my choir is singing pretty.
One moment.
I don't need the wartime core rulebook. I need the fucking Rogue Trader core rulebook.
Alright, when you are firing a target within half the range, the target gains a plus 10 ballistic skill test. Or plus 10 bonus to the ballistic skill test.
So do you want someone to roll the damage for that?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a D10, right?
Check the ship sheet. It will tell you.
Check sheet.
D10 plus 2.
Okay. Boom.
Well done. The attack roll will get repeated.
Oh, right.
I will roll that from Oriana's sheet.
All right. So it'll be 64 if I'm looking at that correctly.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right.
Damage.
Add an
Yo.
additional D10.
Oh, 7 then.
Yeah. So a total of 19. You have Moriana's commanded shot has struck the vessel notably hard, and the hollow field actually burns out.
I don't think they have a hollow field. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. I thought void shields for a second. I know they don't have those.
But yes, the illusory copies of this escort ship fade, and it is left vulnerable as you can now see it well enough to fire at it.
Fucking one guy. Sir. No.
Noticeably, the ship is not firing back, and as you guys are close enough to it, you can see why. The Eldar vessel's guns are all forward-facing.
Yep. Sucks to suck.
So with you alongside and a little bit behind it, they can't do jack shit.
Speaking of, are there any Eldar vessels in front of them?
They are currently fleeing toward another battle group of Eldar vessels, effectively trying to get you in line for their guns.
Assuming my choir has had enough time to sing up, I'd like to attempt to control the weak mind.
Alright. You may attempt it.
Alright, I'm going to have my astropathic choir assist me in this. Because with them assisting me, I just managed to halve the penalty.
Alright.
It's normally at a minus 40 because this is an arduous sign of science test. I managed to, with my astropathic choir, get that up to a minus 20.
Good job.
I have a feasible chance.
Yep.
Fate point. Nope.
God damn.
It's very difficult, but if I can attempt to control, I choose one weapon on a vessel within one void unit, the range increases by an extra void unit per degree of success, and the weapon is immediately fired at a target chosen by me.
It would have been nice.
Damn.
It would have been nice.
That's why it's so fucking hard to pull off.
Yeah. But yes, the auger arrays behind you, or due to detect behind you, the crippled vessel has managed to spool its warp drive and escape. Its sister ship and escort are now trying to basically duel the remaining ships that tried to dive on their escaping ship, or on their escaping sister.
Can I get the Rear Admiral or someone to fill me in on what the fuck is happening right now? It's obvious what's happening right now, but what is...
Well, Lord Captain, it would appear that there's a serious battle going on.
You're attempting to get into Vox communication with your battle fleet elements?
If I am able to. If not, I'm going to continue killing this Eldar ship. I can always ask later. It's probably going to be better to ask later.
Roll me a D100.
D100?
Yep. with all the weapons fire and confusions going on right now, you're hailing the remaining Battlefleet cruiser, but either their Vox systems are taking a hit, or they're currently just unable to give any attention to you, with considering they're currently dueling an Eldar cruiser.
Fair enough. So if it's the enemy's turn, or if we're going, whatever's happening.
It is. We're doing this narratively.
Okay.
Because space.
So
if we did this by the actual space combat
I know,
rules, it would take a goddamn week.
I understand. So are we still within range of this Eldar craft to fire again?
You are still maintaining your trail on it, but it is currently leading you towards a trio of other Eldar ships.
Okay. Fire one more time, and if we can't kill it, we'll break off. But so because now I'm within a 10 plus for being within range, I will aim and make that a 70.
Alright.
Well, no, hang on. Because base is 60 and they're not the thing anymore. That's 80.
Yep. And if you're going to type it out, please, for my sake, do D100 less than.
What?
If you're going to type it out and manually roll it, for just for the sake
Why
of
not?
identification.
The minus 80 just... Okay. Whatever. Less than is the sign eating the 100, right?
No. Wait.
Okay.
Hold on. No, it's the other one.
Okay. Going now.
We need somebody to send me into the storm because apparently there's more rules on the choirs there.
I will be sure to get that to you. You do manage to land a blow. Let me double check something. Let's see. Crit rating. Okay. Jeffrey, very quickly, if you could tell me the crit rating of your macro cannons.
Let me just go open that sheet again.
A crit rating? What?
Macro cannons times 2.
That would just be 2, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, Mars Python macro cannons. Hang on, maybe I just need to go down. Weapon capacity 1. Macro battery strength crit rating 5.
Okay. So just shy of a crit. But
Okay. I will now roll damage.
Yep. And might go into the storm is on its way.
What happened?
Into the storm is on its way to you.
Alright, cool. Just let me know when I can attempt to control the weak mind again, because if this sounds like it might be my last chance to do it.
Yeah, do you wanna roll Moriana's thing? Because she has the other gun?
Yeah, sure. Is a hit.
Want to do damage?
I'll roll it. But yes, the shells continue to rain onto the Eldar ship, and it is badly damaged, but not dead just yet. And Ramirez, you may attempt once more to control the weak mind.
Let's see if I can make them witness my... I could attempt to push this. But that's a bad idea. Fate point. Because if I can get this to work, these Eldar guns are pretty potent, I hear. Nope, I thought that was 5 degrees of success. I was about to be really happy.
Yeah, you're continuing to just try to reach out and enforce your will upon the Eldar. And as you're reaching out, you're really shoving forward with the full force of your choir. and something just starts shoving you back. Like, you feel a force on your mind, just almost like a hand closing around your head.
Okay, so does this ship look like it's about to go?
This ship looks rough, but it might survive another salvo. It really depends.
What if I ram it? I know they don't have void shields.
You could attempt to ram it, but that would require you to... You would need to somehow pick up speed, because you're to the side and a little behind it. And you're matching speed with it.
Would that be
And we're heading towards a salvo of other Eldar ships.
Yeah, but I don't want this one to get away. But no, I see your point. So, could I make a piloting for evasive maneuvers, because there are 3 more ships that will have shots on us soon?
You can go and give me a piloting test. With the bonus of the ship's maneuverability, don't forget.
So 78. I'm gonna use a fate point.
Alright.
I am now down to 1 for a scan dart.
But you have performed a masterful maneuver.
At the last second, just steady, boys. Steady.
What you have done is you've managed to slow your vessel enough that as the enemy Eldar vessels that are approaching you begin to charge their weapons to fire, you use the emergency chem thrusters to shunt yourself behind their sister ship. Perfectly behind it, where they effectively makes it impossible for them to fire on you without risking damage to their sister.
Oh, they'll kill that bastard. They know they will.
Seeing the already extensively damaged ship, their guns drop charge and they very rapidly accelerate speed in order to pass by you and try to come around for another run.
Oh, well, this poor bastard is, well, a poor bastard.
Does this give me another shot with the control weak mind?
I'm gonna let that go first.
They're currently racing to get past it, so you can try it one more time, but this is probably the last one you're going to get on this strafe.
It's fine if it's the last time I get on this. It's just, this could be bad. I'm going to push it. I'm only going to push it for 1 to give myself a +5 to this. But I'm still pushing it a little bit. Which means
It could
the second phenomena table
Yep.
gets a +20 to the roll.
Oh, fuck that. That's not worth it. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's the psyker here. He'll determine what's worth it and what isn't.
He is, but do you?
Is it worth it? Probably. It'll be fucking awesome. No, it's not worth pushing it because this is the start of the fucking battle. Fate point time. Come on, roll 20 dupes. Give me something good. Why do I have pilot trained? I don't have pilot. I don't have any pilot. Do I have pilot? Who would let the blind guy fly?
I mean, you're Voidborn, so that might be where it comes from.
Wait a second. I have 5 choir members, you said? I have half a dozen?
Yep.
Caps +5. I've been doing this wrong. I've technically been doing this at a -15.
God.
And with that, I did it.
Well done.
Fire on the fucking center vessel.
The damaged escort that you've been tailing, as its sister ships are passing by it, it charges weapons and deploys its primary weapon. To those of you who have knowledge of the Eldar, it's pulsar cannon. And the rapid firing super laser strikes the lead ship of the trio of Eldar vessels that were coming to assist their sister ship, strikes it right on the nose as it's moving to escape by, and just the rapid firing pulsar just digs a series of short trenches into the nose of its sister ship.
Try as you might, Zeno, my will is superior to yours.
Speaking of their will, it's a shame it can't protect them from macro rounds. I'm gonna fire again.
And at this point, Jace has control of both guns, so
Okay.
you'd be combining them into a salvo.
Okay, so aiming. And that is... No, that's not the right roll. That's a different roll. 80! Fate point, because that's bullshit.
Oh, damn!
Do you want me to roll for the other one, or are you just going to count them both with the
Okay,
roll?
so when you're firing as a salvo, you fire 1 ballistic skill test. If it hits, they hit.
Okay.
You roll the damage for them independently, but
Yeah.
you did exceed their crit rating, which means you get a critical hit. So, go ahead and roll me. Yes, go ahead and roll me a d10.
D10.
Alright, and also roll the damage.
D10 plus 2?
Yes. For
Okay, I was about to roll D12 plus 2. Dupes.
I'm down to one last fate point, Jesus.
Okay, so 5. Oh boy. Not bad on the damage either. The ship. You see the ship beginning to. You begin the. You begin to see the ship start to buckle under the rounds, and it looks like it's about to come apart as fires begin to spring to life inside of it. And it's.
Wait, is that a good or a bad thing?
That's the enemy ship. We're fine.
Ship, and welcome back, Patrick.
Okay.
Pat, what you missed so far? Your home ship got away, and we've been chasing one Eldar ship vessel. We shot the shit out of it. I controlled its main gun and fired on one of its allies, and now we're setting it on fire.
Good. Good. Kill them all. Has the second shot, already been taken?
I rolled as a salvo. I was about to say silo.
Because we
Okay.
Because we didn't realize you were going to be able to get back. So.
Yeah, we didn't know when you were getting back, so I just rolled as
That's fine. Don't know why it's now just having a bit where it's... I don't know. I guess going back to that really old problem it had where it's like, oh, Monday, it's a Monday. Well, we're just going to cut out at one point randomly and not be able to get you back for about half an hour.
Your internet, much like Garfield, hates Mondays.
I'll take it being clear and having only hiccups on Mondays.
Fair enough. But yes, the Eldar escort you've been pursuing is coming apart rapidly. As the ships that attempted to assist it, and one of them got shot up all along the nose by the pulsar on the ship you'd been pursuing, as they pass by, your auger arrays, once they've passed, perform another wide scan, and you find that one of the 2 wolf packs that had consisted of Tortoise escorts is beginning to crumble and fall apart. The ships are all on fire, and one of them... You don't like the light that's suddenly coming from the rear end of one of them.
Not good.
That's not good.
Steer clear.
Okay, so has the trio passed their friend yet?
They have passed their quickly dying friend. Yes.
Okay. Just very quickly. Let's fire on this bastard one more time, and then I will try. Yeah, then I'll reorient us to fight the other 3. because I don't see an escape option as of yet. And I also cannot get into contact with... Actually, can I have somebody try and make an effort to get in contact with the Imperial Commander? Because Chorda's way fucking gone.
Yeah, Chorda's ships are currently... Chorda's 3 cruisers are currently on their own little fucking goose chase of that, well, honestly, ghost ship. You can't really think of any better way to describe that thing.
Yep.
They're after that sweet xenotech.
Stay here and die for me. Wait, what? Yeah.
It was more a matter of, I'm going after that one. Ma'am, we're already engaged. We can't break off to escort you. Ma'am!
Yep. Alright. So, firing it. Actually, you know what? Because I haven't used a scanner's action yet, and there's not really a need to move, can I roll another D100 to try and get in contact with the Imperial Navy ship?
You can roll a D100, or somebody else can roll a tech use to try and get you patched through.
So we're gonna have Soleil's do that for you real quick.
Yeah, do that.
Oh, that would have been Soleil's, but you know,
Yeah.
Still.
It's all good. You managed to finally cut to the interference and managed to get a hail through to the remaining cruiser of the Imperial Navy. The captain comes over your Vox communications. Lord Captain, thank you for seeing to the assistance of our sister ship's escape. I'm glad you're here. The moment that we were doing all right trading fire with them until that ghost ship arrived. Short had pulled her cruisers out to go chase it, left without most of our heavy guns.
Terrible woman. Alright. What does it look like we'll be able to do here? Should we begin to make plans to fall out and escape?
One of Shorta's wolf packs is about to be lost. That light shining. Her warp drive's ruptured. At this point, escape might be our only option. We're badly outnumbered, and these vessels are pretty damn quick. My old girl can pull pounding on them when she gets close, but getting close is the problem.
I should have better luck with that, Rear Admiral. Prepare to escape. I'll cover your retreat.
Emperor, speed to you. And just as the Vox line is about to cut, you hear a loud amount of screaming over the Vox line before it cuts to static.
Damn it.
Whose ill-advised idea was this, guys? I mean, come on.
We're not going to play the blame game today.
Yes, but on your
It's totally my fault, though.
Yeah, I know, it was, but we're not playing the blame game today.
Yeah.
We literally had no idea of knowing.
But yes, your augur arrays do detect that the ship is still moving and fighting, but from the scans of the cruiser that you were just in communications with, its bridge just went up in flames.
Oh, that's not good. Can they still warp out? Tell me someone got that message that's still alive.
The ship does begin breaking off.
Okay. We'll cover them.
It's effectively, the ship appears to be basically blind and deaf, and its escort appears to be trying to lead it out.
Alright, yeah, well, I'm going to make to cover them after I kill this son of a bitch, because this son of a bitch is dying, because that's one less ship.
Hold on.
Jace? Hang on.
Get an idea of where everything is. It's an Imperial Navy officer. So the ship we're currently beating the ever-living shit out of, and honestly might want to leave for dead. It going, and what the in relation to the ships we should probably be engaging.
So, the ships that tried to engage Moriana's home cruiser, this one was a part of that attack group. It split off when you guys hit it when you guys blindsided it. So it was about it cut away at about a 90-degree angle, and you guys gave chase. It was passed by a trio of sister Eldar ships that were trying to basically force you off of its tail.
I got right behind it, and they couldn't fire, so now
They have just passed you and are now actually heading towards the cruiser.
Okay, so yeah, going after them then. Poor little bastards. So, since I have it in my thing, I'm going to make a maneuvering to turn the ship and fuck up their day.
Alright, go ahead and give me maneuvering. Go ahead and give me a pilot spacecraft test plus the ship's maneuvering to bring her about hard.
Rolling with the fate point.
Well done. Don't know if that was supposed to be a scander or not.
That's a scander. I think that scander's down to 1 now.
No, a scander just said he was down to 1, so he's out.
A scander did not say it was down to 1. I'm going to go see if a scander rolled 1 real quick. Because we haven't been doing this long. Yeah, scander rolled. Wait, hang on. Was that Chase? Okay, that one was Chase. But I think you may be right. No, I think a scander still has 1.
No, because you said you rolled something with a scander and said okay, that's a scander's last. Or a scander is down to 1.
I'm looking. I don't see what I would have rolled as a scander.
Motherfucker.
Oh wait, no, yeah, I do. It's right there. It's right there. I see it. I thought that was a bliss round. You're right. I'm down to 0 now. I am out.
Yeah, that was your last one.
Yes.
But you managed to tell everyone to hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
And again, using
Vanessa, hold on to your desk.
Yeah. And again, using the emergency chemical thrusters, managed to send the ship
on the combat bridge.
You managed to send your ship lurching hard to port to bring you back online against the ships that have just passed by you. You're currently side on to them, but you'll be pursuing them shortly. Noticing that you have suddenly made
Can we potentially send a quick salvo their way while they're still, if I'm reading this right, with their aft to us?
You can get off a shot before they're able to react.
Unless we're in knife fighting range, I'm useless.
I believe this is still. Are we that? Are the hollow fields still up for them?
The hollow fields are up for them, yes.
Making this at a 60.
All right.
Chase. Oh, hang on. To Chase. Fire, you son of a bitch.
Just for reference, we are out of knife fighting range, right? We're more than 1 void unit away.
From these 3, yes, you are. They're just out of the knife fight range.
Yeah, because unless we're in knife fighting range, I can't actually use controlled weak mind.
Pat, do you want me to fire in salvo?
Mechanically doing what?
Effectively, Chase rolls for both shots.
Basically, both shots are rolled as 1, and if it hits, it does both their damage, so.
Let me find a thing real quick.
It's putting both weapons in one hand and swinging really hard.
Sure. Allow me to do one thing first. I'm gonna do, or Moriana's going to do the action of put your backs into it. Basically, effectively known
put your back into it.
Like fire here, here, and here.
Yeah.
And nope. Okay, I was still successful, so we're fine.
Well, it's gonna be the plus. It would give you a +5 for the next roll.
I get you. I got. Oh, okay. But yeah. Doop.
Not bad, not bad.
Oh, one in the middle. Get fucked.
Yeah, the one that had already taken a pulsar hit from its ally takes a couple good macro barrages to its back, and in doing so, you have well alerted them that, oh shit, they're on our aft where we can't fight back. They immediately pull turns that you're pretty sure would rip. The 2 escorts peel off to the sides, and the center ship, what looks to be a light cruiser equivalent, pulls a turn that would rip any Imperial ship in half. You have successfully
Sorry, I'm just reminded of that line.
You have successfully pulled the attention of these vessels away from your fleeing allies, and you now have a badly bruised but still functional Eldar cruiser bearing down on you.
Oh, that was a cruiser?
Light cruiser. It looks to be their light cruiser equivalent.
Okay, I thought they were all escort units, so... Alright, well, shit, we're doing this now, boys.
Let's take that as our new flagship.
All right, Well, if only because we have no way of knowing how.
If only because we have no way of understanding how to actually operate the damn thing.
That's my only hang-up. If we did, yeah, let's go kill some Eldar. But
Alright. So, they're bearing down, we are bearing down. Okay, so, to be clear on this, does just the light cruiser have guns on us, or do the other ships also have guns on us?
The other ships veered off in order to give the light cruiser the space it needed to come around on you. So it's the only one lined up on you at the moment.
oh,
I
God.
want to see if I can make it... just the light cruiser only has guns on the front, correct?
Eldar ships have all forward-facing weaponry.
Okay, so I want
Eldar
to
are
see...
fucking morons.
I want to see if I can make this... Can I make a piloting test to get past it?
You could do base maneuvers.
I understand that, but can I just get past it entirely?
Moment. Because we are doing this narratively, I will give me a piloting test, but it's going to be at a -20.
That's still a coin flip. Alright. So I'll just roll that at 58. No.
And you're out of fate points. You
Yep.
try and gun the engines, but you're not able to get past it. And it manages to square up on you.
Am I at least closer?
You're
Well,
closer.
that's your question. I'm closer.
You're certainly closer. Well, that's a good thing remains to be seen, as its
I have a-
weapons charge up.
Okay, so the hollow fields are still in their favor, I take it? Like,
I will say you've
It's
gotten...
more that they're now getting around and shooting, but
I understand that. But just to clarify the situation for me, are their hollow fields down? Like, they're no longer useful?
Their hollow fields are still... They're still certainly within... They're still certainly having effect.
Okay.
Are we in knife fighting range? Can I attempt control the
Not
weak mind
just yet.
so I can make them fire off into space? Damn it.
Alright.
If only we were a little fucking closer, I could make them fire off that fancy pulsar cannon into empty space.
That's the real question. When that Eldar ship hit them, they didn't have any of their fucking weapons because they're all on the front.
unfortunately, no.
Seems so. And Pat's gone again. Nope. No, Pat's not gone. Dan's gone.
Don't fucking scare me. No. Oh, no, it's
Dan, where'd you go, buddy?
still in the call. It says for me.
Yeah, same.
Okay, it said that about Pat twice, and Pat's been gone.
Yeah, this is fair.
And he's been really quiet. I don't know if it's just because he doesn't have anything to do, which, I mean, fair enough, but... Okay, so they're firing on us.
They are firing, and it does look like the pulsar hit from their escort friend did do some damage to a weapon mounted in the keel. It looks like it might have damaged their torpedo tubes.
Oh, good.
That is honestly the actual scary thing they have on us. Those pulsars, they're nothing.
Okay, let's see.
Say, pulsars rips our chip in half.
We do have void shields. They don't. That's nice. The first hit doesn't count.
Yep.
That's why the torpedoes being knocked out is good. Those don't give a flying fuck about our void shields.
But the second hit does manage to do 12 damage to the Shield of Arnor's hull.
Oh,
or to your armor. Well, hold on. That's modified by armor. My apologies. So minus your armor, it actually... Damn it. Your armor actually holds up.
Oh,
damn right it does.
We just took a fucking pulse star to the face?
We have a really...
Oh, well, it's prow
Yeah.
It's prow facing Imperial ships. Yeah, this is where we're at.
We are the shield of goddamn Arnor. We're not dying like this.
Yeah, the rapid pulsing fire of the Eldar laser weapon strikes across your prow. The crew reports that the armor has been significantly that the armor has taken the hit, but it might not be terribly wise to tempt fate with that again.
Oh, don't worry, boys. Soon they won't be able to hit us.
But yes, as their barrage finishes, you're now in your knife fighting range and effectively alongside them. For that brief moment as you're passing alongside them, their holofields do not operate properly, and you're able to actually pinpoint them.
So,
Any Eldar vessels in front of them?
Directly in front of them, no.
In range of any of their weaponry, so no.
They don't have any friendly vessels within their weaponry at the moment, but...
And I am useless.
I'm sorry.
Can't... Wait, hold on. Can you use weapons you can fiddle with? Can you also, be like, hey, guy, really good idea to ram your buddy?
I mean, I can't. None of my powers work like that, sadly.
Ah, drats.
The most I can do is make them fire at their friends, if I'm really lucky.
You want to do the put your backs into it?
Yes. Yes, I will.
You want to use a fake one?
You know what? I'm gonna use... Moriana's gonna use her last one and roll words.
Moriana, you may have actually been mentally compensating for the holofield.
Right. Chase is going to salvo fire into the thing. Fuck this thing. Char D10 plus 2. Oh, balls.
The macro cannon shots smash into the side of it, and they are... It certainly dug a few small trenches in their armor, but it doesn't seem to have done any actual internal damage.
What is the status on the cruiser, and does it look like Shorta's ships have any fucking chance?
The naval cruiser has managed to reach a space and is spooling its warp drive. Its escort vessel trying to use its guns to chase any Eldar off the tail. As for Chorta's wolf packs, one of the wolf packs, seeing that the Navy is withdrawing and that Chorta has completely abandoned them, they're pulling out. The burning ships the two that are still burning are trying to pull away, escape the Eldar. It looks like they're trying to escape Eldar that they think are still chasing them, but who have seen the light coming out of that other ship and decided it would be best not to be here. And unfortunately, those two ships are lost as the warp drive as the warp drive of their Wolfpack brethren detonates, dragging all of them into the warp.
Oh, no Eldar ships. That is a sad day for us.
Well, the Eldar certainly decided it was not a good idea to be there. One of their escorts did not manage to burn fast enough.
Can Slays try and get a message to Chorda's Wolfpacks to pull out?
No, toward the remaining wolf pack.
Okay, I thought she had a lot, but yeah.
No, she had 6 escorts, and 3 of them just got ripped screaming into the warp.
Meanwhile, should be whack.
Back to Yamako, bitch.
You managed to get the fallback order to the remaining wolf pack, and their response is a less kind variation of "We are well aware."
Bye. Bye.
Yeah. Fall back. This battle is lost. Yeah, no shit, dumbass. We know.
Hey, sorry, just my commander told me to say God, dick.
Man, I'm trying to be nice, trying to help you out. Your boss abandoned you. Mine at least called you.
Look, Commander said, Command told you to do a thing that you can't really say no.
Yeah.
Alright, so can I make a piloting test to try it? Because we're at the side of it. I want to get behind this fucking thing, so it will have to turn significantly to try and hit me.
Give me a pilot spacecraft with that -20 to try and whip your ship around and behind it again.
Just okay, well, shit.
Because understand, you just passed it, so you're basically trying to Tokyo drift your ship around.
Okay, the first time it was just regular things, but I understand now. Whatever. Gotcha.
But yeah. You desperately try and slam the ship around again, but the particular chemical thrusters in question are still replenishing after your last use of them, and they're not able to give quite enough to get you all the way around. You're hanging out significantly closer to its back arc, but from what you've seen of this ship's maneuverability, it will probably be able to whip around on you if it gets a chance.
Yeah. Fire again? Or no, I don't know where we're at.
You can get one more salvo in before it gets a chance to react to your sudden attempt.
Alright. So push backs into it. Alright.
Yes, I can do exactly that. Still accounting for the goddamn polyfields.
It's once you have it in your head that those holofields are there, it's hard to remind yourself that no, wait, we're close enough that they can't really do much.
Chase firing salvo.
I'm sorry, I'm too used to Cobras having fucking torpedo bays. I'm sorry. I keep knee jerking to go fire the torpedo. And they go, no, wait, sorry.
Firing
Damn
salvo.
refits. Oh hi.
Fucking nasty ass hit.
D10.
Your D10 plus 2 for each of your shots, and also a D10 for the critical hit.
Gonna roll the critical first.
7.
Plus 2.
We are punching, well, not well above our weight class because it's an Eldar ship, but we're punching above our weight class, and this is pretty awesome.
Yep. Okay. Jeffrey, roll me a D10.
Oh boy. Like, by the barest technicalities, this is above our weight class. It's like, oh god, what's his name? The glass jaw motherfucker in Punch Out.
Oh, Glass Joe.
Technically.
Yeah. So, your auger arrays detect a flicker in one of the ship's systems, and from what your augers are telling you, Soleil, that Eldar light cruiser just lost one of its 2 prow lances. Power just cut to that section.
Oh shit! Going to immediately let them know. So the light cruiser's losing a bit of its prow lances. Yes?
We heard
Yes?
you. I heard you.
Okay. It was just silence.
Yeah.
So I was worried that my internet decided that, tell me to go fuck myself again. I was gonna be like, no!
So shame because a scavenger would know, but I don't. Prow lances, guns.
Those prow guns, yes. One of the prow guns that's just lost power.
Good.
Yeah. Lances. Badass mainstay weapons of most fleets. Except the orcs. And Tau, actually. But still.
That's because the Tau figured out that railguns are really good in space.
Yeah. Turns out, solid projectile weaponry. Really good in space.
Turns out it's all a weapon that can hit you from
You
out...
missed,
Yeah.
but efficient.
Yeah. Turns out that a solid projectile weapon that can hit you from, halfway across the solar system, pretty fucking devastating.
Also, where are the escorts in relation to their light cruiser?
They peeled off and are currently lost to the mess of the Eldar fleet, as they're trying to figure out after that, warp engine failure, as they're trying to reorient and figure out which enemies are left. But right now, you're having a hard time picking out those particular escorts.
What is the cruiser's thing looking like? Because we can't stay here. If we're the last ones here, that's very bad for us.
The cruiser is spooling up its warp drive. It looks like it probably gets away here in a second. Its escort's preparing to follow it in, so...
Okay, probably need to stick here a little longer.
At the current moment, the Eldar fleet doesn't seem to be... The Eldar fleet seems to be worrying itself more with the ships that are still, slugging. So you see ships focusing towards you, towards the fleeing escorts that Chorda abandoned, and several ships effectively chasing after Chorda as she chases after her ghost ship.
So, if I'm gonna break, now's probably a good time.
If you stand and fight much longer, you're probably gonna wind up getting cut off.
Okay, so I'm gonna break.
Can we get off one last defiant pot shot against the light cruiser?
You can certainly give it a go.
Jace, please.
Lenora, try to get us out of here. And Jace's parting gift of fuck you.
Little bit of in your life.
Supposed to be Jace, but yeah, 19.
Your final departing salvo gives a nice few wraps on the back of on the back left side of the Eldar light cruiser. You actually see a couple small fires spring into existence from damage to its hull. Just you can see internal sections are beginning to burn. Now, specifically Ramirez. As all this is going on, one of the Eldar, you can feel from the psychic signatures of the Eldar that one of the ships that is coming to help their damaged sister has currently made the mistake of coming in along the line of its guns.
Oh boy. One more attempt at this, I see. I'm going to look out. I'm going to look out to my choir and just, with me, throw my psychic signature out there and try and control the weak mind. Final fate point, maybe. So close.
Did you actually spend the fate point?
Oh, that's what I spent it there for.
No, I'm saying, like, did you...
Oh, yes!
D10. Ha! Nice.
Can he use that fate point to make that 0.2 a success?
Fortunately, no.
Unfortunately, no.
If I roll a natural 10 on this next roll, can I?
No.
It's okay, I would have rolled a 3 anyways.
Right, so I'm gonna roll a space pilot to get the fuck out of here.
Alright. Space piloting plus your maneuverability.
Real quick. Maneuverability's just plus 30, right?
It's on your
Yeah.
sheet.
Okay, yeah, but Pat has the answer. And as I'm leaving, hey, someone contact Jordan to let her know we're getting the fuck out of here.
Soleil's,
I'll
take
get
use.
right on that. As I do a shitty job of doing this because I also really don't like Chorda.
Fucking pirates.
And duty to this dynasty to basically just be a bit of a bint to them. What minus would I take, Shane?
For not
Oh,
really...
what's going on here? Why are we having her talk to them?
She's the comm officer.
Oh, she's not actually the Theorix, but...
Alright, I'm going back into silence.
Gonna be a -10 since you're sort of, purposely dragging your feet.
Oh, well, that would have been Soleil's, not Moriana, but still.
Yeah, it's the chat avatar overriding, but...
Shorta, we're leaving you.
Lady Shorta, we regret to
It's
inform
not
you...
us, it's you.
Lady Shorta, we regret to inform you that we are having to pull out due to overwhelming enemy numbers.
Mostly because you left your escort units to die.
Mostly because you took most of our big guns, and went to go chase a cruiser.
Hey, Shane, just a random note. Where's that Space Hulk?
It's here, and there, and a little over there.
Mostly
Nice.
on that station.
There's just that one orc swimming to another part of it.
Just swimming
Gonna
over to
leapfrog my way over. Gonna
swimming-
go punch up them daft pansy elder.
You see, in the great distance, you manage to pinprick just a couple orcs just nimbly swimming their way between hits of the shattered Space Hulk with what looks like steel wires to try and reattach the pieces.
Oh, you Ponce Elders, when we get this back together, you're gonna be in some real trouble, yeah.
Captain Morty just swinging over on a steel cable. I swear to Gorg and Morg when I get this shit together.
He's just sitting on one of the pieces, just shaking his fist at the fucking Eldar fleet. Why, Iona?
Just standing.
Knew I should have sprung for the macro power claw.
Literally just standing on the shattered hull of his space. He's all just firing his personal swilling to shoot at them. To the last I grapple with thee.
So, have we managed to get clear?
You've managed to clear the Eldar fleet as they are closing on you, but it looks like you'll have more. It looks like you have enough room to spool your warp drive and escape.
All right. Yeah, Navigator, now. Verona, now.
Yeah, no. The warp drive is spooling up, and there are a few long, nail-biting moments as these Eldar vessels begin to just bear down on you. multiple cruisers aiming their guns your way as they come barreling down, just charging and jousting towards you. And for a brief second, it looks like maybe you miscalculated. Maybe they're going to get close enough. Their weapons are charging up. Looks like they're about to fire. Out of nowhere, there is a massive detonation right on the nose of the lead ship. And it is careening off as its crew scrambles in surprise. And your auger arrays finally pick up a new friendly contact. The ship on your auger arrays blows your mind, and as your warp drive is spooling, you can't quite comprehend that this is really here.
It's Caligo's winter scale.
No,
and his entire fleet.
Perhaps even more surprising for anyone, for any rogue trader at all, really. The ship on your auger arrays is an Astarte strike cruiser. Identifying itself.
I knew contacting my Space Marine homie would work.
It identifies itself as the Stormcrow's vessel, Wrath of Argwalon.
And then the rest of the fleet came, and the Eldar didn't stand a chance.
Jane. Personal. What is it? Jet black and trailing fire?
No.
Ah, damn it.
Can I push my psychic phenomenon to make it rain blood over the ship, so it's even more of a metal cover moment?
It's too far away, unfortunately.
It is a bit out of range. Also, the Space Marines would probably have words for you.
So, just to be clear,
it was the Eldar.
Set the regroup point for Yamakor because I don't. Yeah. Where we started.
Yeah. But yes, under the cover of the Space Marine strike cruiser, who is now giving the Eldar the idea that, you know what? Maybe we'll just call this one a draw. This is getting a bit loud for us.
Now we're here for reasons that will be explained next time. No.
I mean, I was going to say it, but the words from my mouth.
Oh, but Shane, we started late.
You started late. Let's go late.
Only one.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel kind of bad because Dan's just been sitting there quietly the whole time.
Dan, the first half of the session.
But now, it's a fair point from Jeff.
At any rate. You lot do, under the cover of the Wrath of Argwalon's impressive guns, make your escape into the warp. It is... The atmosphere is tense as you guys make your warp travel, thankfully, uneventfully, back into the Yamakor system.
As we enter the warp, Iskander's just going to lean back into the captain's chair. Barely went out of that one. Oriana, you were saying something?
Yeah, she's going to slowly look over to the Lord Captain and just ask, Lord Captain, was this where was the set rallying point in case things went south?
Yamakor.
Are there any other ships here?
We're still in the warp.
It is a couple days to get back to Yamakor via warp travel, but if nobody has anything to do in the meantime...
There's a question to all of us.
I don't.
There's a question to everyone.
Nothing for the moment. I want to see where this goes.
Skander is going to turn to Vanessa. As I recall, her workstation was pretty close. So, what did you think of your first taste of ship combat?
It was interesting, Lord Captain. Only wish I could have been a more help. It did not go the way I expected. I guess the Xenos, the Eldar, are much more tougher than expected to be.
I'd never seen a ship quite like that large one, so it would appear that is correct.
I certainly hope that something could have been gained from this.
If I could have gone significantly more in our direction, if that bitch's ships actually helped and fought. But
I wonder about that, though. During
She's
the entire battle, I was watching Lady Cho's ship, seeing as it was interesting. She was chasing after just one Eldar cruiser. Now, I know most of you may chalk that up to her being an unskilled captain or something due to your various dispositions about the woman.
I
But
dislike her, but I don't think she's unskilled.
Okay, well, there must have been a very good reason she was after that one ship.
Or perhaps she was greedy and thought it would be valuable, and did not care about her.
You don't get as powerful as Lady Chorda? Chorda. As Lady Chorda by making idiot moves like that. At least if she's the one commanding that vessel, correct?
She was in command of the implacable flame.
She would be, yes, but if she has the ships to lose, I'm sure she'd be willing to lose them to get whatever that ghost ship was.
If this wasn't all her fleet, then perhaps so. But even then, still, I'd have to look over the statistics after the battle. Though, seeing as we had to make a tactical reposition, I don't think there'll be any chance of that.
I'm sure we'll be hearing from her.
Oh, well, I intend to try to make efforts to reach out to her. I was informed that you approved my request to contact her at an appropriate date.
Yes, we spoke about it.
I don't think now would be appropriate.
You should probably wait.
She may not be in the best mood.
I just hope she doesn't consider us at fault for this. But I should be able to talk to her.
Would it be entirely full?
Well, our Lord Captain suggested this venture. I have not met the woman in person, but I've heard of her reputation, so it does leave for a small chance that could happen. But hopefully, with further communication, and if she gained what she wanted from that Eldar vessel, perhaps decent terms can be met.
Her gaining what she wanted from that Eldar vessel didn't seem likely considering the state of things, but we can only hope.
Either way, though, this does weaken her forces, and depending on how big her fleet is, and if this was most of her ships, she'll definitely, if she at least has any cunning whatsoever, which she should, be seeking to make some allies, even ones like us. No offense, Lord Captain.
We're the newest kid on the block, and I imagine everyone else has reason to dislike her. I can't imagine she can go to Caligos, as she's one of the only people that can compete with Caligos, and Caligos most likely wants her gone. I can't imagine she can go to Tanakh Valceti, because Tanakh is a traitor, and as such, the responsibilities of a man that has a trading company against pirates are just naturally never aligning.
I don't know about that, Lord Captain. I don't know the man personally, but
I do.
Okay, then I'll defer to your wisdom on that call then.
From what I understand, Lady Oif, given all of her characteristics and reputation, most likely despises Chorda, so they won't get any help there. Doesn't really leave Chorda with a lot of options if she wants friends.
True, though we don't know all of her friends. From what I've
I-
heard, she is in contact with the much more reputable individuals of society.
Oh, yes.
And a man of your station would not know such individuals. Mm. Anyways, I will take my leave from the bridge, Lord Captain, to go check on my personnel and personal belongings. We did take a pretty decent hit back there.
Do as you will.
Yes, Lord Captain. Also,
Yeah.
I did make the effort to record your noble actions against the foul Xenos. This should help us in the one endeavor we've mentioned with me and Lilia.
All right. If you think it will. And I'm going to get on the comms. Ramirez, report. Status of the choir.
Well, since I didn't push, the choir is not, nobody's foaming at the mouth. How's my choir holding up?
They're exhausted, especially hostile actions, especially trying to focus all together as one, tends to leave one tapped out. Being a transcendent, you're notably stronger than the rest of them, and sharing the
I'm
burden
still
with
feeling
you,
it though.
yeah, sharing the burden with you has sharing the burden with you is probably the reason why the youngest and weakest members of your choir haven't keeled over.
Right, could I have shouldered more of that burden during all that then, knowing that?
You've managed to shoulder enough that you're definitely tired. You want nothing more than to go to your room and flop down on your bed. But if you shouldered any more, you probably would have passed out. And the rest of your choir is okay. They're exhausted, and the youngest members certainly need rest before they even attempt to harness their abilities again. But nobody bit the end of their tongue off or anything.
Exhausted. Well enough, Lord Captain.
Have them head to Avos's medical bay just to be safe. They did well today.
At once. I'm going to go and I'm going to kind of shepherd the younger members. I'm going to shepherd the younger members personally. Emily, see to the rest.
Yes, sir.
Moriana, get a head count, see if we lost anyone in that hit.
Yes,
Going to
she
contact
seems
the
to be.
Going to contact the plasma warp driver.
She's gonna say it.
Yeah, say your thing.
She's gonna say. The typical proper having her, well, I guess cool. Moriana, that's not really a thing at the moment. She seems to be noticeably fucking livid. But it is keeping a lid on it, but it's still very noticeable.
Slays, if you can, scan the ship, assess the damage, then go over the comms again. Eliane, what is the status of the plasma drive?
Melanie and Shane, it's a-okay, right?
The plasma drive is fine. There was some worrying system drain towards the shield generators at some point, but everything seems to be alright now.
Everything's perfectly fine down here.
Alright. Coordinate and do what you can, see about the damage, if any was caused.
Oh,
to the rest of the ship.
Of course, Lord Captain.
And then I'm going to contact the medical bay. Avos.
Yes, Lord Captain.
The choir, Ashpathic choir, is on the way. They've strained themselves well in the battle. I want you to look them over and ensure that they're all fine.
Is there anyone else you're going to be sending to me, Lord Captain?
I will return to... give me a moment. I'll check. But that should be all for now.
What's the name of our newly acquired person out of character? Our newly acquired slave, I mean respected ship member.
Kira.
You got it right the first time.
Right, Kira. Ready a few of the beds. We're going to teach you a bit more about the way psychers differ from normal humans.
Yes, sir.
And then just kind of get a head count of any sort of wounded or anyone that needs to be in the med bay, and then get that back to Avos.
Yep, more is going to be on that.
Yeah. Gathering after-action reports from the various sections. The only ones reporting significant casualties are some of the prow maintenance crews, who effectively, most of their injuries came from being too close to the outer hull when that pulsar hits, and significant burns from the heat transferring through without actually piercing the armor.
Well, yeah, going to relay that to the captain and also have them start, basically go to the med, get to the med bay.
Yeah, they make their way to the Medicaid deck.
Get yourself seen to.
I inform Avos that you're gonna have more people.
You're gonna have some of the prow home maintenance crews as their arms look more like their arms look more like used up matches right now.
Oh, okay then. But yeah, I'll give the information, and after having everything settled, and just sits back comfortably in the captain throne, and sort of looks to see where Lilia would be. Just sort of, it's like looking, like not really sure what to expect or what to say or what to do, but just sort of looking at her like.
I drive the chainsword through Iskander's back through the throne, saying, "Long live the king."
Wait, what?
Good thing I'm paranoid and wear power armor.
It is Maiko's weekly "I am the captain now" joke.
Nah.
Yep. Yes, Lilia is on the deck, of course, on the bridge, as one should be whenever overseeing most of these operations, and just going about and making sure that everything is functioning properly as the Lord Captain has gone silent.
Yeah, just silence for a moment. Well, Lilia, what do you think? Your fool managed to pull it off.
Well, I think you managed to pull this off. Please don't go trying any repeat performances of punching above our weight class. I say out of character, in character and out of character, fully knowing what Maiko has planned.
Huh. Yeah, promise anything. Crews needed to get out. Besides, this is what I'm best at.
Try and limit it to one ship above our weight class as opposed to several at the very least.
Oh, where's the fun in
there
that?
towards the end.
There's no challenge.
Well, one ship far above our weight, one of those Eldar vessels is still above our weight class enough to be a very significant threat. Don't mistake luck for skill, Iskander. We were very fortunate that we had allies splitting their attention. Have you been the only enemy on the field? Oh, I wouldn't be telling you this right now, would I?
I'm well aware of how naval combat works, and how being the only enemy against a fleet ends terribly.
I'm just wondering what the Astartes were doing in this sector.
That's a good question.
And a question you receive the answer to when you arrive in Yamakor.
Yeah, when we arrive, who all is here?
You arrive.
I was gonna say, since it was gonna be probably a few day journey, there was just gonna be a bit where guys had gone back or was called back to her course when she actually had any amount of free time, and it was literally just her cursing that fucking woman's name and just saying all the things that she technically isn't allowed to say about someone of that position to him.
Which
I'm
woman's name?
going to get executed tomorrow.
Wait, which woman's name? Lady Cho?
Yes.
Shorter, yeah.
Everybody else despises Chorta right now, it seems. Ramirez is
said,
indifferent because my choir is okay. That's what I give a shit
Stupid.
about.
Stupid fucking home ship was burning because that dumb bitch decided, oh, I'm gonna go hunting after the goddamn ghost ship. He's effectively what.
Meanwhile,
then
It's
he's
the
like,
summation of Moriana's
and
on
just-
about.
technically, our Lord Captain was the one that suggested hunting down the Eldar and contacted Lady Cho.
Technically, it was me that suggested hunting down the Eldar. Our Lord Captain suggested contacting Chorda.
And you know,
Like, if we're just being full honest, it was
technically,
my
Lord
idea to
Captain
come
said,
kill.
it's like, look, it's not fighting the Elder that was the problem. It really isn't. That dumb bitch decided to not commit after she decided to aid us. Stupid fucking what? It's just it's the summation of what she's on about.
When we return to Yamakor.
But yes, you do manage when you do emerge from warp space above Yamakor. Waiting for you is the remains of the naval patrol. One badly burned out ship that looks like it's probably going to have to get dragged back by its sister back to Port 1 for repairs. That being Moriana's home ship. It managed to get away, but by the time it got out of the warp and got its fires under control, it doesn't look like it'll be moving under its own. It certainly won't be making any warp jumps under its own direction in the near future. It's effectively just sort of affixed itself in geostationary orbit above Yamakor's gravity well and is just holding position there. The other ship, its bridge is still burned and busted open, but it appears to have most of its own functionality still. And the escort is the remaining escort vessel is mostly intact. It took some minor damage, but none of its systems appear to be down. And it's just sort of it appears to be hanging between them, and shuttles are going back and forth between the ships as they try and get everybody resupplied and restocked and as functional as possible. Arriving effectively as you come in, there are the surviving ships from Chorda's escorts are making their way further in the system from having appeared further out system than the rest of you. But there is no sign of Chorda's cruisers. There is, however, a cruiser that was not a part of the battle, hanging in orbit around Yamakor.
Are we hailed?
Well, your auger array is first detected as the Banzidhe, a lunar-class cruiser.
Oh, that thing we're like never gonna get.
But yes, it is currently.
Piece of junk.
It appears to be also attempting to try and help the battle fleet get ship shape, as far as they can. And you are actually hailed by it.
Yeah, answer.
Yeah. Your hololithic ports light up to reveal a woman with wavy silver hair and a long blue coat with golden fringe, and a bit of a critical glance as she looks at you. Lord Captain Nikos, yes?
I am Iskander Nikos, yes. Might I have the pleasure of knowing who I'm speaking to?
Well, I thought you would have known since you've been trying to contact me.
Oh.
The entire time was just looking at it like that's her. That's her. You fucked up. You asked her who she was.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I may have heard of this endeavor against the Eldar. I realized I was going to be a bit late to the party and, well, asked a friend to intervene.
Really?
It would appear he managed to save some of the ill-fated trip. My apologies that I couldn't have gotten him here sooner.
If I had bothered to think more, I would have scouted out the system before going in full force.
Mm. Well, according to what I've heard from some of the kind of gesturing in the direction that from her ship the battle fleet elements are on, it appears you managed to save at least some of our brothers in arms.
Was the least that I could do after I got them into the situation.
It speaks volumes about you that you even care. Unlike the woman you took with you, well, most of the road traders in the Expanse are more like her than you.
Until recently, I served as an Imperial Navy commander with a ship of my own. I don't necessarily have the best mind for rogue trading. Suppose old habits die hard.
Well, at least your heart's in the right place, Captain. I suppose I'll be remaining in system, well, at least until my friend returns. After that, who knows where I'll be off to. If you need me, feel free to contact me.
Would like to meet you face to face if that is at all possible.
Certainly, we can arrange that. I will have my first mate get in contact with yours.
Very well. I hope to see you soon.
I can
And
wait,
so,
Captain. Transmission ends. It's not all that long after that transmission ends that you receive a hail from the escort vessels of Shortas that are currently in your system.
I accept the call.
The holodeck display kicks up again, this time displaying the most ragtag trio of captains you think you've ever seen. These men would not be identifiable as captains in the battle fleet.
Yeah.
They're just sort of patchy long coats, very much like pirates trying to style themselves as captains.
Yeah. Captains, glad to see that you made it out.
Well, thanks to you, of course. I don't think we'll be rejoining the Chorta dynasty's fleet. The boss's actions left a bit of a bad taste in our mouths. We were wondering if maybe you're hiring.
I turn. Wait, who's still here?
I guess Vanessa would be there.
I turn to Vanessa just very quickly, like, can we afford this?
She kind of gives you a look without trying to give you a look, like.
We're rogue traders. We can afford anything.
Yeah, just
She kind of like if just her hands perfectly to her side, kind of like gives you like a maybe gesture with her hand, but then kind of like shrugs her shoulders very slightly as she's just looking very nonchalant.
Yeah.
To any like outside observer, it would just look like, you know, slightly shifting movement.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna turn back. I mean, I'm certainly hiring. Be nice to have a fleet if you're interested.
Now, the real question isn't can you afford these guys, it's can you afford not to hire these guys?
Oh, I'm hiring these guys, but yeah.
Because recall the way I described them.
Can you afford nuts? Oh, yeah, no, they're gonna take some work, but I mean, 3 ships? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And okay, so they're effectively escort vessels like the Shield of Arnor, correct?
2 of them are Havoc-class merchant raiders, and the third is a Tempest-class strike frigate.
Ooh.
Right. So Pat, we need to have discussions out of game.
Don't have discussions. It's not a game. It's not a game. It's not cool.
Anyway.
Well, no. Planning without all the group.
But yes, no, the...
What the fuck? You want me to figure out goddamn plans taking a pull?
Vanessa does whisper in his ear, like, do ask them, why should you consider them?
Like I said, I'm willing to hire. What are you offering?
Well, if we're not returning to Chorta, we could use a gig that keeps us, well, out of her holdings. Suppose we could be convinced for a moderate pay to sign on as freelancers, run system security around your systems.
See what you're saying. See what you're saying. That problem is newly arrived in Sharon. I'm going to make a charm or some sort of negotiating test to lower the price.
Oh, I'm just.
You can give me either charm or commerce.
Listen,
I'll tell you what, Vanessa, roll me a commerce or scrutiny, whichever is better, to assist.
Alright, sure.
So I'll let her roll that one first.
Damn Windows. I'll re-roll it. Yeah. I haven't used them. So, what the hell is that? I was just looking right at it. There we go. That's better.
So Iskander, gain a +10 to your test. You have either commerce or charm, whichever's better.
Oh, well, we're just gonna roll me a commerce here.
Is your commerce seriously better than your charm?
They're the same.
Okay. We're doing good your +10.
Then 73.
Jesus.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that advantage.
You're welcome.
Well, you see, just Vanessa just stepping off screen like has notes. No.
Yeah, she occasionally whisper into his ear. The three captains will see this attractive female woman appear up in her head appear in the hall screen and be like, you know?
Yes, sweetie. Later.
Just coaching him from just off screen. But yes, with Vanessa's guidance, you do maneuver your way through the negotiation, and since they offered themselves as patrol vessels or system security, you're able to argue them down to a pretty fair price. Go ahead and roll me a profit. Go ahead and roll me your profit factor with a +20.
Okay. Do you 100? Guys, you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Because our profit factor is the sexiest number. And fuck.
That's not a sexy number. Well, I mean, if you're looking at a 0, yeah, you can stick your dick in it or something. Oh, shit! Sorry, you got to cut that one out of recording.
At this point, I don't care. I'm tripping. I'm trimming the ends off of each clip and throwing them together.
Put it on YouTube. It's adult enough. They'll be fine.
Can I spend my fate point to reroll that?
No.
Unfortunately.
Shut the fuck up. You might have allowed it.
He didn't every other time.
Wait, can I do it since I'm kind of there, or no?
To be fair, Vanessa is the one spearheading this entire endeavor.
Well, technically he is. I'm just be like, don't trust that
Vanessa
one.
life coach him. We need
Vanessa,
allies.
give me one more commerce test.
Okay. Where is that thing? I was just looking at it. Bitch. There it is. Damn it.
So close.
Wait, do I have another one to spend? Let me look. I could spend one more.
Not close at all.
If it's applicable.
Yeah, you can go ahead and spend one more fate point on it. Reroll
Yeah,
that.
might as well.
There we go. So with it, you're sort of arguing them at the price a bit. And Vanessa, you managed to butt in and just you're guiding him back on the right track. So, Iskander, you can go ahead and re-roll that profit factor.
Yeah, and she also suggests perhaps meeting each of the captains in person. Have a meeting.
You are able to, with Vanessa's last-minute guidance, negotiate them into a... They're not contracted yet, but they're effectively pending an interview. They are contracted on for system security.
Yeah. Good. Just waiting for that meeting to get set, waiting for the set that meeting goes, just like thinking in his head, wonder if Trota's coming back here. I mean, this is the rendezvous point.
Perhaps we could host well, once the thing ends, she will suggest perhaps we could host a meeting aboard the Arnor.
We can suggest it, though I think Lady Oif would like to have us on her ship.
Of course, that business comes first, but about the three captains themselves, though.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Vanessa, set that up if you can.
Will do. Also about Lady, what's her name again?
Chorda?
Florida?
Huh?
Chorda?
Armengard.
Armengard, there we go.
Armengard, okay.
Not Chorda. I just call her Cho and then ask for the correction. Armengard. How do you want us to proceed with that? I already have a few ideas that I could brainstorm with Lilia.
Brainstorm with Lilia, as she's been putting a lot of thought into it, and I think we can work this out. We've made a good first impression.
Yes, especially once she sees the case that me and Lilia are putting together. Anyways, I'll make the arrangements immediately. Do I have your permission to use any of the facilities as needed?
Yes.
Thank you, Lord Captain. As she bows and leaves the bridge.
As suddenly the plasma drives overload.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen.
What?
Melanie's
No.
had enough of us meat heaps.
Turns out Melanie's just been the traitor the whole time.
And this is where we learned that Melanie is actually the head of the Dark Mechanicus.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Curse your failure to
Fuck
grasp
you,
the English
guys!
language.
You thought I was Melanie, plasma
Fuck
drive
you
operator.
guys, my soul's gonna be put back in a new body.
Yeah. I'm sorry, just... Freaking Melanie's like, you thought I was Melanie, plasma drive operator, but in fact rips off red robe, just like black robe, red trim, 8-bore star cog. But really, I am Melanie, Dark Mechanicus.
You really shouldn't
no,
have told us this
Okay.
in the bridge where we all are. Shoot her.
Right.
Kill me if you will, but I'm a space hell loan shark. You know how many greater demons that I have in my beck and call? They'll just bring my soul back to the forges. I'll get a new body. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, but we're
Oh
still
God, pain!
I warn you, I will only return in a greater form, with more rancor and rage than... I'm gonna go ahead and quote one of my
Omega
favorite
Squad
Ingrid
open
vids.
fire.
Yeah, no, just like, I'm gonna go ahead and quote one of my favorite movies right now. Shoot her!
No.
I love you, Dark Mechanicus.
Mm.
Fucking demon loan sharks.
Demon loan
Space
shark.
hell loan sharks.
Anyway, Moriana, you actually received communication from the battle fleet elements. Specifically from Captain Yosef Krell.
I answer immediately. There is no pause at all. Just boom, done.
Yeah. Captain Krell is a man of dark skin, though the left half of his face is currently wrapped in bandages. with short. You could tell his hair was always short cropped, but it appears to have been singed off his head at the moment. If the lack of his right eyebrow is anything
snaps
to go
off a
by.
salute.
Yeah.
Moriana snaps off a salute, Captain.
Yeah. He answers in kind. Noticeably, you do see that he gives a proper salute with his right hand, but the left half of his coat is just sort of hanging off his shoulder, with no indication of the arm beneath.
Ooh.
Moriana, it's a hell of a thing. I'm gonna have to inform you that pending the repair and refit of your previous vessel of service, well, the Spear of Elias is going to be down for repairs for a considerable time. I'm attempting to conflict.
Pick up your unemployment checks in the mail.
Yeah, I'm attempting to contact Battlefleet Command now, but be prepared to be, well, barring any unexpected openings on other vessels, your commission with the Battlefleet may be coming to an end shortly. I'm sorry.
Sure that there's room on one of the other vessels. I mean, what about the Dreadful Whale?
Destroyed.
Yeah. Shit.
Dreadful Whale. She went into the Cineris Maleficarum 6 months ago. I haven't been back to Port Warner to check on her since, so it's anyone's guess if she's returned or not.
I mean, Moriana looks actually legitimately deeply hurt.
I'm sorry to have to be the one to bring this to you, Moriana. You've been a good soldier. Damn good. And no matter what any other officer has said about you, you're a damn good officer too. But the Spears kind of... You see him glance to the side and you're sure he's looking out one of the viewports of his ship. The Spear's a twisted mess. It'll be years, maybe even a decade before it's ready for service again.
Are we sure there's no openings at all, sir?
I won't know for sure for a few more days until Battlefleet Command answers back, but from the last contact I had with Battlefleet Command, it doesn't look good for anyone coming off Spear of Elias. I'll argue what I can for you, but I just wanted you to be ready in case I can't find you anything.
Thank you, sir.
Like I said, don't give up yet. I'm gonna try as well as I can for you, but I didn't want it to blindside you. I wanted to at least give you a little warning.
She's silent for a moment and just has that gulp, like that that figurative and literal one. Just like I'm just processing, swallowing all this. We'll continue operations aboard the Shield of Honor until then, sir.
Good on you. Might put in a word with the Lord Captain. Have an avenue open. Until then,
Thank you, sir.
until then, Crow, over and out.
Nods. Gives a salute.
Salute answered, and the phone
And
cuts.
and she's gonna let that stew for a little while. She's gonna let that fester. And seem on the outside as if nothing is wrong at all.
Nope, I'm fine. It's the end of my career, but I'm okay. I mean, it's just the transition to the next part, you know. Moriana, freelance armsman. Got a ring to it. I
Life's
like it.
next great adventure. What the fuck am I doing with my life?
Oh god, I'm gonna tell my dad.
Rogue trader. Fucked up. Got my ship blown to bits. I'm alive. My career's dead.
I'm alive, but the battle fleet Coronis is one of the smaller battle fleets, and currently doesn't have many extra postings for somebody of my skills. So I've been temporarily loaned
Laid
to
off.
the service of a rogue trader, just until the Spear of Elias gets repaired. You understand, Pops.
Well, no daughter of mine has ever been laid off, and that's not starting today. Goodbye, stranger.
That's likely. That's a likely scenario, actually. Imperial nobility.
It's okay. You still have your guard, but you still have your guard butt, buddy. It's fine.
And
Not all was lost. He didn't totally pull a red shirt like I thought he would.
I mean, not yet.
Oh, that's
We
right.
had to
the-
bring him
that's
on
the
Yeah,
glory-
no,
way.
That's the glory of motherfuckers being given names.
Yeah, no. Is his? Is he in? So he's. Yeah. Wow. Goddamn words. So he
He's
was
one of
not
the
in
next-
any of the people who got hurt.
No. He was not one
Omega
of the crown
platoon's
maintenance
completely
crews.
fine. Okay.
Omega platoon took no casualties. Luckily, the Eldar did not attempt to board the vessels that are known for, close quarters combat.
All right, boys, we're going in. Hey,
Prepare
our side,
yourselves,
neighborhood.
aspect warriors. We strike through the webway and fuck off our
Aren't the
boat,
Eldar
space elf.
Corsairs like really good at close quarters combat or something?
Listen, it doesn't matter how good you are when you step out of your teleporter array right into shotgun fire.
Hey man, not shotgun fire, naval cannon fire. Those naval shotguns don't fuck around.
Mm.
Especially
They
when
have
they're
a
being
shot
fired by
cannons.
orcs who think
Lovely.
they're machine guns.
Pushing little Eldar with their fully automatics.
I'm not. God damn it! I now have the image in my mind of the orcs attaching the fucking little shotguns to the bits of or the bits of Space Hulk,
And flying
and
away
just
using
having
bullets.
them fire on fully automatic, having them.
So a quick
Rated
question
vessel.
before we start coming to a close, I imagine, because it's now 2 in the morning. I take it that Avos has to know about Ramirez underneath the mask, and that, the whole reason for the mask is to hide the enemy ecclesiarchy bit.
And as long as he's never had to do work on your face, he wouldn't have had to see under the mask.
I have not had any head injuries yet, so that's good.
Even when you dropped all of us from like 50 feet
That
in
was
the
just
air.
my right leg, okay?
Everybody just broke their femurs.
Everyone's leg bones shot up into their skulls. Yeah.
So,
It was only like 30 feet in the air. It was fine.
question, just real quick, because we're wrapping up. With this
You
endeavor,
only killed
with,
all of the armsmen.
with
I
the
mean,
endeavor,
incapacitated.
with the endeavor of
No, they
We
died.
rank up, right?
with the endeavor of going to Orn, XP or no?
Do we rank up? Just give us the fucking rank, Shane. I will end you.
Jesus.
Everyone
I
gains
just need
300
200
XP.
No, 300. Here we go. You know what I'm doing with this.
I will actually cut you. I don't know where you live, but I know you live in Texas. I will just go cutting everybody that looks remotely like you.
That's a lot of people in my hometown.
I don't give a shit.
Odds are good the cops will get you before you reach me.
You think I'm scared of the police? A
No.
little bit.
But you'll be in
I
prison.
passed the light, actually. No, I'm not scared of the police.
Listen, man, if I'm having shared a hotel room with you over a con weekend, you very easily pass for white.
Exactly.
That said, you start cutting people, you're actually still going to be in jail by the end of the day.
The end of the day. I don't need the whole day. I just need most of it.
You're going to have to chew through most of the population of a small city, so I think I'm alright.
Depends on what end of the small city I start on, Shane. Do you really want to roll that dice?
I'm a gambling man, you know that.
All right. So how much XP do we have, like total, Pat?
Fuck, let's see. I feel like I didn't update this last time.
Because by my count, we're at about, with the 300 we just got, we're at 6,100.
Okay, then yeah. Yes, I have this correct.
Okay. I have literally nothing to spend this XP on. That's why I want to rank up Shane.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the really, 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 really fucking annoying thing about Rogue Traders, just rank 1.
It's like Dark Heresy First Edition rank 1, where most of your stuff is stuff you got for being your class. So
Yeah, but at least their rank 1 was only 500 XP.
yeah,
And you could take like 2 characteristic advancements and you're done. This one, it's 2,000.
they really want you to
And
work
you
on your
start
fundamentals.
with all your expensive shit.
They really want you to work on your fundamentals.
I guess I don't know what I'm gonna take.